So, last session, there was a major encounter with the commander of Anaria's Watch, Tharok, Iron Soul, and what is mostly the remainder of the chainless that were occupying the space. There was an attempt by Blackstar to kind of sneak into this entry hall room and pass off his deception, which he did successfully for a moment before the commander stepped in front of the door and turned and saw Garen and Xander standing in the hallway, and then all bets were off, and we rolled initiative, and we had combat for a solid 4 hours straight of quite a slog with firewalls and wall of force and lots of B2 valiantly walking through the wall of fire to try and go and save Blackstar, who was sectioned off from the rest of the party, surrounded by like 7 other individuals, including the commander, I think. And Garen just like mercilessly standing up against the wall of fire as the commander stood in it, wreathed in flame, just beating on him, and using Sentinel to cause him to not be able to leave the wall of fire, which was pretty amazing. But after defeating everyone, there was some a little bit of walking around and start the beginnings of an investigation of the rooms that were here, and a very special looking glaive found on the commander himself. And that is where we essentially left off, where there was going to be the remainder of the quote-unquote looting of the keep itself, the bodies, and then also the outcast, who 2 of which had like gone down and then brought back with potions and other means, had gone off to take out the remaining guards that were up on the walls of Anaria's Watch, firing out at these puddle jumpers that were kind of flying around, other members of the outcast manning them, trying to draw the fire of these guards that were on the outside of the walls. So the sound of combat still kind of wages outside of the keep that you're in, but it seems somewhat localized and small by comparison to what you had experienced previously. So
either most of the outcasts are dead or most of the chainless are dead.
One or the other.
Let's hope for the outcasts.
Yeah. Wait, what? No.
Want the outcast to be dead?
Wait a second.
More combat.
I don't think they want more combat. I think they're all nice and combated out for now. I could be wrong.
That was a whole week ago.
It was.
B2 has his second win. Let's go.
Yeah.
There hasn't been any major healing. There's been, I think, maybe a little bit of healing. Maybe not. I don't
just
know
a little bit, yeah.
Berries and things that were used, but everybody's a little bit bruised and definitely sweaty, not only from the wall of fire, but just from the intense combat for multiple rounds. And and Vesper, the vine creature who is here in the keep, did help out a little bit towards the beginning of the battle, just as a point of note. But you all stand inside of the keep. The kind of thrumming sound of the puddle jumper that was the main outcast, the Captain Ranvarez, didn't fully like park it. It's just kind of like hovering outside in the courtyard, with the back door open to it. But the keep is yours for now. What would you like to do?
I remember I was, unless someone wants the armor, I remember I was going to like rip one of the
Pauldrons.
Off of it and tie it to my my kilt thing, off of what's his name? It's the Rock. Tharok.
Tharok.
Yeah, the Rock.
Iron Soul. The Rock. Oh yeah, that was the joke. Yeah.
And then I was gonna like do my best to bury him, or like give some kind of proper burial for him, out of respect for coming back and finishing the fight rather than running away.
Cool. How is Garen feeling in the moment of having faced another orc who was kind of staring him down in the face of this?
Well, that's partially the reason why he is even doing this, because he doesn't, as far as I can remember from everything I've written about him, that he doesn't see a lot of orcs other than his mom. So having to not only immediately face one and kill him, he can't connect with another orc. So out of some form of like respect and sorrow for not being able to connect with them, he's trying his best to do what he thinks is correct in this moment, in order for him to connect with him still. Uh, so even though like typically he would be excited that he won the fight, but it was quickly met with how do you say, the realization that like, oh yeah, uh, now I have to hopefully find another orc somewhere to bond or connect with. Uh, yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, it seemed pretty obvious that Tharok was not looking to bond with Garen, except
Yeah,
in the means of steel to steel or fists to steel.
yeah, stone to steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Garen didn't realize that he wanted that bond until after, uh, and he appreciates uh the fight because that's in itself is still a form of bonding. It's just now it's like it's done. I don't. We can't bond anymore. We can't fight again, and so yeah, out of respect for him, like, screw the other chainless. Even though I'm sure he did a lot of terrible stuff, he's just focused on the fact that he's an orc and wants to give him proper respect for his mom's sake.
I mean, Garen didn't really give him a chance to run away.
No, I mean, you could have surrendered, I would have still I could have respected that.
Yeah.
But he just ran. He left all of his subordinates.
Yeah.
Just left them to die. And like Garen, like, immediately was like, "Oh no, no, do not do that!" And I jumped through the fire. He jumped through the fire. It was so angry. Yeah.
Yeah. So is there a particular like kind of spot that Garen is looking for, or just somewhere out in the courtyard that's dirt and grass, bushes and trees?
Probably by a tree, because I think someone took his weapon away from me. I was going to use that as like a gravestone, but I'm pretty sure Black Star was like, nope, nope, nope. And I still want something to kind of be a place to recognize that like that's where this guy fought, or that's where the body is and where he's resting. So just a tree that's not too close to the keep. Maybe that one over here. I can. Yeah, this one. And I'll just dig probably a big hole. He's an orc. So as I'm gonna do as much digging as I can, bury him and not necessarily pray, but kind of like just sit there and in reverence and silence.
Before he starts to do that, B2 is going to walk over and say, "Can I help, Garen?"
Yeah, I think.
So he's gonna quietly help, and then like have him let you pay your respects, and if there's something you want to say about that, I'll wait to RP. But B2 has a question for you when the scene's done. I'll just say it that way.
Gotcha.
Could you ping the tree inside of this courtyard or inside the walls that I didn't see where you pinged?
Just to the left.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I have no clue how long it'll take to dig this hole, but after it's done, I put the body in, but cover him with dirt, and kind of. I don't know if I knew his name. Did he say his name out loud? I don't think I knew his names.
Well, you learned his name from
The lady upstairs.
Leora.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I wasn't in that session and I forgot. Yes.
Likely excuse.
How could you forget?
So yeah, I'll do a TI kind of just to show that he was here, even though that's going to go away. And then just take a moment in silence, thinking about my mom, and also just reminiscing the people in my life and how I've recognized I've never I've never really gotten to know any other orc other than my mother. So uh, part of me is sad, but knew it needed to be done. But I'm silent that whole time. Uh, yeah.
As you're kind of bringing the body over and B2 silently kind of helping you and you dig this, you along this southern wall, you kind of hear a scream and the body of one of the soldiers comes flying over the out of one of the side of the wall and just kind of falls straight down head first, just crushes into the ground. And you kind of are locked into what you're doing and paying more attention to that, and I'm sure B2 probably catches that as well and kind of looks up, and Captain Ranvarez kind of sticks out with a smoking arm of like a flamethrower that he had used previously and just kind of gives you one of these, just a little salute, and then continues on his way. On the captain themselves, the glaive having been removed, you do see that there is a small silver locket that seems to be semi-translucent on the front of it, and it looks like there's a small puzzle piece on, like an actual, like a jigsaw puzzle piece on the inside of this locket.
Ooh. I'm gonna take that instead. It's perfectly something I could wrap around all the two other stones I have.
I mean, you could still take the
Nah.
pauldrons.
Yeah.
The dragon
This-
pauldrons.
This works perfectly. Yeah, I'm gonna before putting the body in, I'll grab it, and think you live on through me. Even if we were adversaries, and that our only true form of communication was my fists to your face and your blade to my chest. I can still respect you and what you stood for, even though we were at opposite ends. Then put the body in, and I will leave the locket in front of me while I sit there and meditate, I guess, is the closest thing I can use to describe what I'm doing.
Okay.
And then after doing that for maybe 2-3 minutes, I'll start getting up and tie the locket right next to two stones that my parents gave me, a red one, and or at least like a orangey red, and a really polished black stone. And I'll turn to B2 and say, "Thank you." I don't know why I felt the urge to do that, but it felt right. He's a horrible person, I'm sure, but part of me still wishes that we could have spoke. I don't know.
Yes, I can understand wanting to find someone who's identical to you. I'm sure there's questions and answers that can be found in that. And who knows? Maybe he wasn't a horrible person. He's a soldier. And sometimes soldiers serve a cause they don't fully understand.
Look at you. That's maybe we could have been friends the same way you and I were essentially ready to originally take each other out, but then a moment that was, I don't know, there was no real communication, but I recognized that you weren't against me anymore. Not to say I was waiting for that with this orc. I don't I don't think that was ever happening, but I just now know that I still don't have another orc to get to know my culture more. My mom My mom has been where she lives for pretty much all her life. I don't know if she really knows everything. And so I don't know if anyone else would, but I'd be curious to know what other cultures uh orcs have experienced, especially a full bred orc.
Hmm. Well then, it sounds like when we are done with the chainless, you and I have more adventures to go on to find
Oh
more
yeah.
orcs.
Yeah, that was never a doubt. If these guys don't even uh like need us anymore, I'm taking you wherever I go.
I do believe that Blackstar might put up a little bit of a fight.
You can try.
But I think what you did was the right thing to do. After all, I think a warrior like yourself respects the idea of dying for something you believe in. And even if his belief was against us, he died for that belief. I find that I don't understand it, but I believe there's comfort in that. To die for something greater than oneself. But this fight's not over, Garen, so let us continue. And B2's gonna now walk away to give him a little bit more time alone, but and he's gonna go find his burnt hat and robe, and even if it's barely together, he's gonna put it on, back on. Like the hat's now a little charcoaled or black
Mm-hmm.
or charred and missing maybe a thing. Puts it back on though. Matches now his like armor being a little charred as well, and
Yeah,
is
they're not completely gone, but they're definitely
yeah.
missing a bit here and there. You do also hear like a zzzz as the ships two come in and land kind of in the courtyard, and total of 10 outcast members of various races and wearing different clothes and whatever, mostly black and a little bit of decor here and there, but kind of come marching out. And Captain Ranvarez comes down one of the staircases off the wall and kind of wiping the sweat away, looks a bit cut up and bruised, but walks over and begins having a conversation with them and kind of motioning over towards the keep. They land a bit a ways from the door. And as a group, they kind of make their way over to the front entryway of the keep. Have Razir and Louise been doing anything in these moments?
Well, me and Blackstar were looking through the room with, of course, the bear rug.
Third bear
Okay.
rug!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're just a brief description of what's in the room. There's a shelf that has a bunch of like bottles of tinctures and things that look like they were from a health perspective or a hygiene. That's the word I was looking for. Different things like this is kind of where the Tharok kind of took care of himself and made sure he was healthy to kind of run the keep. There's a table that has a bunch of like a spread as though it's set up for like a party or something that he may have had in here and it was never cleaned up. There's a couple of like tablecloths and like a half drank bottle of wine that's kind of tipped over on the table and a platter with some things on it. Another shelf with some basic things he would need for himself here. There's his desk, and Eric is literally pinging the desk.
There's a stick of dynamite.
There are
Yeah.
are 3 sticks of dynamite on his just sitting on his desk.
Yeah.
A bunch of
A
papers.
bundle of 3 sticks. Yeah.
Well, you could write down 3 sticks of dynamite if you want. They can be individually used if you'd like. But there's a map of Novus, which is I think you guys have a map of Novus. I think
We. Yeah.
which
Yeah,
he
you got one.
kind of has marked off with the various chainless base locations with it looks like freshly marked River as the base location. And there's the chest behind his desk. There is a door. It looks like it goes to a closet in one of the corners of the room that has not been opened yet. There's the bearskin rug, and then there's another table just kind of filled with old food that's on it. Not that old, but it's just a bunch of food laid out on the table there with another rug underneath it. The desk does have drawers in it. That is a climbing hook.
I did think he had a pickaxe on the desk.
Yeah. I am doing something else during this.
And there is looks like a satchel backpack type thing kind of slung over the back of the chair behind the desk as well. So,
right.
well, it's probably a lot we're gonna do in this room with Louise and Blackstar. So we'll go do whatever Razir is doing, and then we'll come back to this.
All right.
So first, I am going to the pile of bodies, and checking if any of them are slightly alive still.
Okay.
See if there's any risks for
Oh, gotcha.
Berloth.
So it's funny, as you're doing that and like knowing the purpose of why you're looking through this, Veriloth just appears and is like walking next to you and just kind of like, nice little too bloodied up. Let's get the most fresh looking one we can find.
All right, well, you're here. You point them out.
Veriloth like very meticulously goes over every single body and takes like a full like 90 seconds of just kind of like looking, going around. Eventually finds whatever one was near the captain's door here. This one here arrives at that one. This one will do very well.
You still need me to touch him, or can you do it while you're here?
That's a great question. I don't know. I think reaches down and kind of like puts his bloodied corpse hand over the face of this individual. Like closes his eyes for a second and opens them. It's too good to be true, I guess.
I'll go over and put my hand on him.
Yep.
Do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Stand back up. Right. And this is like just after the battle had finished. I would have almost immediately done this.
Sure.
While they were still potentially alive, and then so this would have been like as Garen was starting to decide to do the body thing, I would have gone outside, and while the fighting was still happening, used levitate and gone back up to the roof, and then been taking pot shots at all the chainless that were still on the roof, shooting outward. So they're just getting all of a sudden just shot in the back a bunch of times.
Okay.
Help take them out as the outcasts were coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just back up on the roof, hiding in the rooms, and just shooting all these chainless in the back that are worried about elsewhere.
Gotcha.
Just like, bam, bam, bam.
The way you use levitate right now, it just it reminded me of in Dune in the second one when they flew up to the rock on top of the giant rock.
Didn't see it.
It's a good scene. Good movie as well.
I intend on watching it, but yeah, I'm just. Yep, it's a slow elevator basically, just for me. So I'm just.
The just a small point of note. It's kind of would not be easy to miss. Words all of a sudden just disappeared from my brain. You didn't speak with Garen, so you don't know what he found outside when he was doing the burial of the commander. But on this particular individual who you sucked the whatever remaining life out of, there is actually a small silver locket with a puzzle piece inside of it. On this was one of the captains. because there was like 2 captains and then the commander and then all the other rest of the people that were here. Not to diminish in any way what Garen found on the commander, but an investigation of the rest of the bodies that are here would turn up that there are no others that have this. It's just this particular captain and the commander. I don't know if Razir would care about that in any way, shape, or form, but anybody else looking over here trying to loot, I think Blackstar or Alex specifically was like, we want to make sure we loot everything, everyone, take everything off of everybody.
Yeah.
After all the chainless are dealt with, I'd come back down and then
Okay.
start that process of dragging the bodies out of the middle of the walkway, going through pockets and anything of value.
Gotcha.
If I had noticed that necklace, I would have remembered to go and take a look at it, or at least note it's there, so that if it gets brought up in conversation.
Sure. Okay. So you're up on top of the roof taking pot shots and helping out and you see the flamethrower, going off and lighting up the very, very early morning, which at this point it was like
5, maybe
3 in the morning originally, and so at this point, I'd say probably 5. So the sun hasn't really begun coming up yet, almost, but it's still very dark outside. But it's just a Technicolor display of blasts of Eldritch Blast and laser fire going off, and the very low glow of the puddle jumpers as they were flying around. And I didn't mean to cut off Garen. I wanted to make sure that I mentioned that they landed in the courtyard. But yeah, so Louise and Blackstar, are you just, as soon as the battle's over, Garen and B2 go and have that moment, and Razir is doing this, goes up onto the roof to do Louise and Blackstar just immediately start looting and going through
like we were in this room when the mage ran off, so I feel like we'd still be here and be like, I believe we said, they got this, and just started looting immediately, like looking through the room.
I believe you did.
No reason to waste time.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. So we'll say that, so it is get Garen over the course of, it takes a little while to dig a grave, put a body in it, and then cover it back over. So
there's a couple of outcasts out there, right? Maybe they could give him a hand. Just dig in the hole.
Yeah, the group showed up after he was already buried, so like probably 20 minutes went by.
There's are there not these other guys over here?
No, they actually left.
Those are the main outcasts. They're on the walls. We're kind of in Theater of the Mind, kind of, but with the help of the map at this point. So okay.
Just clarifying.
I think after Garen, whenever he reaches the end of it, after B2 left, Garen would attempt to mark the grave with like his fist by punching the tree, but I don't know if it would come out right. I wanted to roll for it to see if it's like if he punches too hard or if he does it just right or something. But after that he's gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But after that, he's gonna go. He's gonna go. Well, actually, let's see how. Make
a strength check.
He'll either be embarrassed or proud. Let's see what happens.
Bear?
Okay, that's a little too high.
No, that means that you have full control over the strength that you're exerting on this tree. So it turns out
the tree falls down.
It wasn't like, too much strength. Tree's dead now. It's.
I thought I would just punch too deep. And then it would just like.
Yeah.
This is your
cool, perfect.
How well you're exerting your strength on this. So yeah.
Then
hit it.
Mark it, punch it, and then I will shout. No, I don't know if I'd shout to anyone. If anyone's near me, like any of the party members, I would say that I'm gonna continue helping the outcasts, make sure that they don't go down. Okay. And then I'll head towards specifically the 4 people I was helping last time. The named NPCs.
Yeah. So they, as the 10 of these outcasts kind of come out of these small ships, the captain and Otis and the others, they start giving direction, and they split off into 2 groups, and they head towards the back of the keep. So unless you're following them, they disappear around the side of the keep. You hear them say, because they're not trying to be quiet at this point, that they're setting up ambushes as like a pincer movement to take out the returning groups of chainless as they're circling back around behind the keep. So that's what they're heading out to go and do.
Oh. Well, if I can't find the...
I mean, they're all right inside. I mean, you see Razir up on top of the roof, although the action's pretty much done now in and around the keep. It's just the returning. So I'm not sure if Razir would come down at that point, but
once all the guys on the wall are dealt with.
Yeah. And there's also Leora. I can't remember what her name was. I have the notes somewhere. Leora. She's still tied up on the roof.
All right. Yeah, I'll just go find everyone then.
Right.
After
I would. That's right. She is tied up there. I would go once all the fighting. I look around and there's like we've taken the base. I would go untie her.
Okay.
Just a quick conversation of like, well, it was quick, but we managed to take him. Ain't no more chainless in the base, at least from what we can tell.
That is that's a big win for all of us.
Yeah.
Didn't take you very long.
No, it kind of all happened all at once. There's still going to be some outside trying to get back in, but I think the newcomers are trying to set up some ambushes, deal with them as they come back in.
Do
you feel comfortable walking around? Oh, it's this bandit-ish group that calls themselves the Outcasts.
Oh. What are they doing here? How did they know to come and do anything?
We ran into them and kind of set up a help. It was kind of like a agreement for ceasefire turned into helping out kind of thing. Weird situation, but gave us some manpower, came and cleaned things up.
All right. Well, do any of you have any sending stones that connect to Garrett that I can... I know Xander, I think, used his recently, so...
Yeah, I think we're still trying to... I don't know if we found yours that they took from you, but we'll keep an eye out if you want to go down and look as well.
Hey, Black Star, I just found a weird rock.
I think most of our groups in the commander's room looking around might be in there. If not, you might know where there's storage of stuff. But we still got a few rooms to clear out, so up to you if you want to walk around.
Well, I'd like to be able to stand up and stretch my legs and make sure the Vespa's all right. And
yeah, I'll tell you. You can move about, and I'll deal with her.
Right, all right. Because you leave. You're talking about the
other chainless scientists,
right? That you didn't kill, that you left unconscious, tied up. Okay.
Yeah, round 2.
Okay. All right. So she goes about her business and not paying much attention necessarily to what she's doing, but looks like she's gathering some things and preparing to head down into the keep. You unceremoniously go over to the other
and I'll knowing that Verilosi, I'll just be like, "You want dead or alive on this one?" She's still kind of knocked out.
Well, and so just as a point of clarification, they do have to be alive for it to work. So the one captain who was downstairs had just a sliver of...
but like stabbed, dying, or just as is.
No, the more life they have in them, the more there is for the taking.
Right. Well...
And, like, as you reach down to put your hand on this person's head, it's like one eye just kind of lazily, like, opens up and kind of looks up at you and eyes go wide. I know. But before your hand gets there, you see one eye start to, like, open up, and then you just cover it over entirely. And there's just not much of a struggle at all, and there's the horrible sucking sound, and the energy, as you've seen numerous times before, kind of gets sucked up into you, and... Veriloth, like, look, he's just standing there watching you do this with just glee on his face, and it's at this point, because it's like 2 in a row in quick succession, he's just like looks like he's sweating almost like he had too much buffalo sauce, and he's just like, really. So,
When you eat just too much too fast, your body starts to work.
yeah, exactly. And he's just like, well, I'm going to go have a nap. But
Yeah, you should be good for a while.
yeah, we'll have a conversation later, and good work.
Right.
This,
Thanks for the assist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have a task to complete, which is not done yet.
Yeah.
And he just like sits down in the chair that's in the room, and as he sits down, just like disappears from the space. Okay.
Following that, I will then go back down and rejoin the group in the captain's room.
Gotcha. Back to Garen. Garen, you were you said if you couldn't see anybody readily around, but they're like literally right inside, just kind of like in the commander's room. And B2 had said he was heading back into the keep, right? Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Yep.
So they're within shouting distance of you. I'm not sure if you're looking for them or not, but they're right there.
Yeah, once you mentioned that the fight was kind of dying down already, that people were just positioning themselves for future like reinforcements.
So everybody, from what you can tell, all the chainless that are in the base and on the walls have all been dispatched. The only ones that are left are the ones that were making the rounds out in the woods that you encountered. If you recall, they were doing a perimeter check around the lake, patrols around the lake. So there's still a few of those that will be returning to the keep. So the chainless, or the outcasts rather, were making a plan to go out and ambush those groups as they were coming back to the keep, so that there's not any more chainless coming into the keep.
Okay, can I join that? Can I?
Sure.
Like just walk up to one of them and say, or like I don't know, someone that I just think is in charge. If you guys are still planning on fighting, I want in.
Well, and it's Captain Ranvarez. It's still two groups of like 7 people each, but you catch them as they're about to be exiting, and so the captain just kind of turns around and hears you say this. Well, we've got plenty of people here to take down a couple of chainless backpack wearing individuals, but if you want to come out and help punch a couple guys, we're not going to say no. We're not going to pay you for it or anything. We're kind of helping you out by taking down what's left out here.
You think I'm looking for money?
Or you're just looking to kill things?
No, I'm trying to make sure you guys make it back.
We're good. We were ready for this since the day you said you were looking to take down this base. We've been oppressed by them. We all left the chainless. This is the whole point of this. We were ready. We were ready since yesterday. What do you think? I was born yesterday? No. It was.
I mean, if you think
if
you think you're not gonna,
Since the day you said you wanted to attack, yesterday.
It really was just today, in 2 months. But
it's in keeping with how the outcasts have been thus far. It's fine.
Yeah.
if you really believe you're not gonna lose any of your infantry, then I'll back off. But if you want to hopefully lose no one, I'll be in the front, and you guys just rally around me.
Well,
Focus all the fire on myself.
I'll leave it up to you. But we've got a few of our people out there in the forest ready. We're going to go join up with them, so we'll have probably in the neighborhood of maybe 20 of us, so we can kind of jump on groups of 4. I think it'll be real quick, if I'm being honest with you.
All right. Twist my arm.
But I'll leave it up to you, though. You want to come with us and see a little more bloodshed? But we're taking all those backpacks for ourselves that we recover. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, as long as you don't just suddenly try to do exactly what the chainless were doing, and when we leave, you just replace them.
Were you not listening in that Solium place we were? I got what I was looking for, but what I will tell you is there's probably a lot more fancy trinkets where I can make myself into more of like a superhero, you know? So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So if you, what I would say is all this backup that we're providing with this, you know, parlay and seeming ally-ness that we got going on, that maybe you could spare one or two pieces of something that would kind of amp up our power a bit, besides the backpacks that we're going to be taking for ourselves.
I'm probably not the right person to talk about that with, but sure, I don't see why not. As long as you guys are on the up and up, eventually we would just do the same thing. We'd get other allies and take you guys out if you guys just suddenly decided to become the new Chainless or something.
Well, ain't that just the most beautiful thing I ever heard? Just the heroes in everybody's lives, aren't you? That's just great. You're doing such a fantastic job. What was your name? Rock Narog?
Garen.
Norag?
Garen.
Oh,
Garen Stonefist.
Garen Stonejaw. I got you. All right.
Yeah, Garen's gonna be slightly perturbed with that conversation. He doesn't know how to feel.
They were continuing to walk. They got to the back door by the time you were finished the conversation and kind of like pry it open and start marching outwards.
I'm gonna go back to. Yeah, I'm gonna go, and
Okay.
I'm just gonna go back to look for the crew.
All right.
Yeah.
So you all convene in the commander's room. So now we can come back to Louise and Blackstar and eventually everybody else who files back into the commander's room here. So I will let you tell me, Louise, what you were investigating, you and or Blackstar.
Obviously, we'd start with the bear rug, put that in the hole.
Okay. So you lay the hole out on the floor and just gonna roll.
I mean,
the bear
I
rug
feel
and-
like we'd have, as we're looking through, just have the hole on the ground, and if we find something interesting, just pop it
toss it
down
in.
there. Yeah. Shocking. Yeah. But there's first we'd take a look at the map with the chainless bases on it,
Okay.
just to see if the previous information we got from the one in from Beacon, I believe, is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, let Blackstar just lockpick everything, and we just look through to what's in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check the
Just
traps
let him go
for
through just,
lockpicking.
just a million
Yeah, do his
rolls
thing.
for
Yeah.
investigation. Okay. Yeah.
Looting time.
So the map is consistent.
Post-heist loot.
The map is consistent with the previous one that you had found, except for River is added to this. The name River has been
Other new bases.
crossed out. There are no other new bases on
All
here at all. There is one note that looks like it was meant to have been stowed away somewhere else in the desk, but it's just kind of left, kind of tucked underneath the map, and you pull it out, and it does relate to the map itself, but it details plans of creating a portal from a direct portal from Mount Solitude to Anaria's Watch, which was not completed, but it was meant, and it's written down, meant to supersede the teleportation circle in Anaria's Watch.
All right. Let's write that down. I mean, we already knew that. Anyway,
You already knew what?
well, that they want to make portals.
But now we know
Because-
that there's a teleportation circle here.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to write. Because I think the note we got from the chainless we fought in River mentioned them wanting to create portals to other dimensions.
Yeah. that we knew that was at least some of the research going on here was portal stuff, which is why all the portal nonsense is going on out in the woods, and why our large friend
which is hiding back in the woods, like when we first came closer to the lake, right?
Yeah, other side of the lake, a little ways into the woods, in between the lake and the patrol route.
Yeah, because he didn't come with us as we went around.
So at some point we should go get him and let him know what's her name.
He can come look for his wife.
Yeah, well, which we Bertrude, which she is in the courtyard.
She's roped and staked down to the ground in the courtyard, which I'm sure the ships landed in such a way where they were blocking Garen's view of seeing this tree tied up on the other side of them as you walked by. So you didn't actually, like, otherwise you would have just been walking past this tree person tied to the ground.
I feel bad.
Bring that up. Because it was somebody else who noticed it, Blackstar, when he did his little peeker over the thing.
Right.
I think it was.
And you saw as well. Razier saw as well, I believe, right?
Right. Yeah, when I was in Viz and floating over. Right. Once we're done in here, we should go untie the big tree and let Novus know we're good to go for him. Come on in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not doing anything right now. I'll go get his betrothed free.
Okay.
All right.
B2 will help.
Okay. So we'll come back to that. We're going to do a little more of the looting and rolling and stuff.
The important part.
Part we've been putting off for a tiny bit here.
No worries.
So Blackstar goes over to the desk area. There's a couple of drawers, and a lot of them are open. There's like a half-drank bottle of some kind of dark liquid in one of them. Another one has a bunch of blank parchment that does not look magical in any way. It's just parchment with some ink and quills on the inside. One of them, one of the topmost drawers, is locked. So if I don't know if he's going to check for traps or if he's going to just go to unlock it.
Check for traps every time.
Okay. Every time.
Standard procedure. Check
Every
for traps.
All right, well, somebody start rolling.
Oh yeah, I was doing that. Checking for traps is
Investigation.
Nice.
I don't have sound of the dice rolling. That's weird. I don't know why that happened. 26. He feels pretty confident that it is not trapped. Oh. Wait. You didn't roll. You didn't roll with.
I did not.
No,
that's good.
No, because with Luxus Spain, it's an extra +8, is it?
It's 3 more.
Oh, 3 more. I don't know why I had 8 in my account.
We still have advantage.
Oh yeah.
Every roll
advantage.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
At least not a 1. It's better than a 1.
That's true.
I hate rolling for other people for this reason. It
It's
never
like
goes
last
well.
week, I rolled a double
why.
1 on your perception check.
Yeah, I don't like it. I hate it.
Well, it's not a natural 1, and the lock does seem more difficult than what Blackstar is currently able to unlock. It is not a super complicated lock, but he's unable in this particular moment to get this taken care of.
He'll come back to that.
Dang.
I mean, like I'm just frustrated. I'll come back to this one. I'm gonna go do something else.
Okay. All right.
As I see him walk away from it, he said there's no trap, so I'm just gonna try and hit the desk with my staff, trying to like break the mechanism, the lock to open it.
So you're striking
Just like
the lock.
breaking his desk open.
Yeah.
You're just gonna take your staff or whatever. You're just jam it in there and
Yeah.
snap it open. Okay.
Wait, do I have a crowbar before I do that?
You just have a crowbar? I would be amazed.
Sometimes they do.
I would be
don't.
amazed if Louise does not have a crowbar.
I don't.
Really?
Wait, in my
You don't.
backpack maybe. I don't.
I do.
Yeah, you do, yeah. But you're upstairs right now. You're
In
pew
those-
pewing
for those
upstairs.
first-
But anyway,
First couple
like
things, yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and go ahead and make a strength check.
strength check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just let me roll. Oh wait, we have an advantage.
Nice.
Woo!
Even nicer.
Better by one again.
High
Oh,
rollers.
you only have a plus
today.
1, 13?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you manage to jam it in there, right? And you start to like pry a little bit and you start hearing like it's going to be breaking. And then you look down and you realize that your staff is the thing that's making the cracking
I mean, it's a
sound.
magical staff.
I know it is. I'm not gonna,
Maybe it's a magical chest.
I'm not going to have it.
It's not even a chest; it's a
Snap.
drawer in the desk.
That's why it's magical.
The magical drawer.
The magic of engineering.
So you do manage to finally like wedge it in a different way, and you hear a snap sound, and the drawer comes flying out, and papers kind of go all over the floor. But the desk, like the bottom portion of it, like cracks inwards, not the top bit, but where the staff was jammed in there. It looks like the desk and the drawer are partially ruined. Oh no.
Oh no, the chain. We broke the chainless desk.
I don't know. Maybe you guys want to retain these things for your future base plans, but the desk is partially broken now, okay?
But I mean,
And
the
so-
desk is pretty big. It wouldn't like fit nicely into the hole.
Cast mending.
Yeah, just mending for the next minute. Yeah.
Break it and fix it.
Alright.
So a bunch of papers kind of fly all over the place, and that's all that's in here is a bunch of like notes. Actually, I'm sorry. Besides that, there is a small, thin case that looks like a chest that has a very ornate like clasp on it, which also falls out, like fits inside the drawer, falls out, hits the ground, and like opens up. And there's nothing on the inside of it, but there's a very nice like black velvet, like something was held in here or was designed for a specific purpose. It looks nicer than a lot of the other things in this room. And it looks like it is designed to handle a piece of paper. That's like the perfect size for a single piece of paper to go on the inside of it. It's kind of weird. But anyways, what do you do after this happens?
Well, we've got a nice chest for Zender's parchment now. At least we have that. Yes.
Spreading paper.
As Black Story keeps like unlocking stuff, like I imagine chest back here is locked. Right. Yeah. As he does that, I'd go over to the shelves with where you said there's like hygiene stuff. That's what you said, right?
The one near the door is the hygiene stuff here.
That one, right? Yeah.
The one over here is just like basic daily needs things that he might need in his command.
Right.
Like
funny
a
enough,
gravy
there's
boat.
some of the pieces I use for some of these set pieces are auto-populated with things, and I just trying to throw them in the room there. So I know you've always toted that everything that I put in every single room is like picture perfect, accurate to what's actually there.
You've said that.
No, I didn't. I specifically said that it's not that way. Well, I've said in certain circumstances, I made sure that everything in this room is actually there. And
I remember you doing that for the two shot we did because the gem was up in the dragon's tooth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So on occasion, I would say at this point, whoever wanted to be coming back to the commander's room to kind of helping with this could have, that way you can all be involved in this process. So Louise, are you looking for anything in particular, or just kind of going through the
Just looking
shelves?
through the shelves if there's anything like that could be of use.
Okay, well, that's beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
As I come into the room, I'll just be like, "Oh, hey, while we're looking around, keep an eye out for the remember that sending stone Leora mentioned she got taken from her?
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for that. She might need it, or she said she wants to use it.
All right. Do that.
Just as a note. What else we found in here, by the way?
So far, small chest. This note mentioning they wanted to create a teleportation portal in the base over here. Of course, the bearskin rug.
Nice.
Yeah. There's. I mean, we just just got started, so if you want to help,
Alright.
maybe your magic eyes.
Yeah. Let me give a look.
All right.
And
Sure. So you still have
Guys.
the tendrils extending from the roof that are causing a problem in this instance, and because they would be giving you disadvantage because you have advantage, it would be a straight roll for a perception check in this room with your magic eyes. Oh wow!
Bayek.
Wow!
Dang it.
Get them all out of the way at this point here. One thing I will
what's gonna keep
say.
happening?
The Louise, especially with your passive perception, would have noticed as the papers kind of fell out of that drawer in addition to that box, it looks like the papers that fell to the floor were all like hand addressed to Commander Therok. And there were a couple of others that looked like they were addressed to somebody named Eldrick Voss. But the newer ones addressed to Therok, have some basic information on them if you were wanting to take a look at those. But I'm assuming Black Star goes over to the chest in the corner of the room. Do you want to make some rolls for that?
Yep.
Hope you roll better than a natural one.
Wait, don't you have advantage on everything
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
an advantage on these.
Oh, he didn't roll with advantage on his perception check.
for your perception check?
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's
no,
For
no,
the
no.
first one.
No, you
still
guys-
because of the tendril.
The
Cancels
tendrils
out.
are giving him
Right,
disadvantage.
right,
Straight
right.
roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Checking
So,
for traps is
investigation
investigation.
first.
Yeah.
Jeez.
15. All right. Yeah, I mean, nothing blatantly obvious that stands out in this instance, but the chest is definitely locked. So,
He tries, obviously.
mm-hmm.
Okay, it's better.
24. Okay. That is enough in this instance to chink, and the lock pops open and the chest is able to be opened. There is indeed.
Will the third chest we unlock explode like all the other ones?
Oh, is this the third chest in the campaign that's been unlocked and opened? Is that
Third
oh,
or fourth?
there was the one in
There's-
the
There
Rising Requiem. Yep,
Yeah,
Requiem.
did it?
One of-
Was it a mimic?
it was a
It
mimic.
was.
Yeah,
It was
a
a
mimic.
Yeah. There was a mimic one. There was another one that we took with us that
That
exploded. when
blew
we
up in
took
our
it.
face, so we opened it.
Yeah, and then
That was the one when we
there one
beat up
other
a bunch
one?
of outcasts.
in
like
the
when,
river.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was like my
Was it-
first combat.
I feel like I remember one that had like a poison trap or something like that,
yeah.
like a
I
giant
think
poison cloud.
that was another one in Requiem.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a mimic and a poison trap chest in the Requiem. Third chest we took with us opened while we were on our boat trip. That one exploded.
Almost killed everybody. That was pretty.
Yeah.
on the boat.
So
No,
they
we
took it on
stopped
the
it.
shore.
Yeah.
yeah, we went onto the shore
we didn't-
specifically
because-
because every chest has been trapped so far for the most part. So this is the first one that hasn't yet exploded.
This one does not explode. Let's see.
Yet. It hasn't exploded yet.
Yeah.
It's delayed blast fireball.
Let's see.
and the hides to be like at the bottom of the chest. So by the time you've looked at through all this stuff, then it blows up.
So there is a sending stone on the inside of this chest.
Yep.
There is a small satchel with 250 gold
Stone.
inside of it. There is a potion of invisibility. And there seems to be another bag / backpack similar to the one that's hanging on the back of the chair behind the desk. It appears to be empty when opened and looked inside. So
Let's see, what would Blackstar? Money's nice, and he always likes money, but being able to turn invisible, I don't think he has.
Well, he can
That
just disguise
spell.
self.
He can do
So he
disguise
does
self,
all
but also being
That's
turning
practically
invisible.
invisible.
But also, Garen turning invisible. That's hilarious.
Dropping a dude while invisible.
Oh man. I could take it if you guys, if no one wants it.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, I think that's fun.
I think, yeah. B2 got a glaive, Garen gets a potion of invisibility. The gold we can split up, put in the group fund.
Yeah, because we found. I mean, I feel like at this point in the party funds, we have 2,100 gold, basically. Very
I feel like
good
it's
for a bit
always
with that.
2100. I feel like it's been 2100 for so long.
Yeah, because we haven't gotten that much money.
Yeah, we don't dip into it too often.
Yeah.
And
I feel like
income
that's a
is
good
low at the moment.
question. So the because we found like I think I wrote down 561 gold pieces on the bodies last week. So that plus the 250 now, that's 811. We could divide that in our own personal funds.
Oh,
Should that be 200 to each of us, and then 211 into the party fund?
I mean,
You want to split
there's
it even?
Sure.
Wait, I did that math wrong.
11 divided by 6.
It'd be 100 to each of us, and then
135 and like 1.666666 gold each.
or we just split it up 100 to each of us, and then 111 or 211 into the group fund.
I like that idea. I think that's
Yeah,
the right one.
let's do that. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll just write a note to, or Tim, I'm pretty sure you can go into their character sheet and add 100 gold, right?
I can.
All right.
Sure. Sure.
I don't know why, but you don't sound that convinced.
No, I can definitely do it.
I can.
It's just so
It's
so we don't
whether or
forget
not-
next week. So they just have it right.
Whether or not I want to.
Why does
You
Xander's
snooze, you
weight
lose.
carried have? What is happening with Xander's weight carried?
I don't know.
Why is it
It's-
0.07999999999999999999?
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I'm confused though. I want
It's
to know.
fine. So
So funny.
there is one other thing. So the satchel that's inside of this chest, as I was I can't read words. It does look like there's like this black like silk like cloak on the inside of it. I kind of take it out of the satchel, and it has like this like collar to it, and just seems like a really fancy silk cloak. Kind of shimmers in a bit of the lantern light that's there.
Is it magical?
Maybe.
We'll never know. Detect magic doesn't work in this place.
Well, it works, just not all
It
the
doesn't?
time.
Sure doesn't work.
It worked in the kitchen.
Nope. Not at all.
It partially worked in the kitchen.
It works like a person who needs glasses can see. Like if you put it like this close to your face, you can make it out.
Yeah, so do that
Yeah.
with a silk.
Yeah, I did that in the kitchen.
I mean,
Walk around
B2
and
kind
get
of
a
needs
close
a new
look.
cape, so you know.
Yeah.
Over the course of like a minute, if you take the cloak and like hold it up close to your eyes and you're just kind of like squinting and looking at it as these weird tendrils that you like, it's almost like
They're
you
just
wish you
in
had
my face. It's
Yeah,
like an annoying fly.
yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm like, you wish you had a fly swatter where you were just like, just go away, but it's nothing you can actually touch. And you just like look
You
at it
good,
really close and
Razira?
you're like, oh yeah, it's magical. Okay.
I mean, that looks magic, but whatever's going on here is messing with detect magic.
All right.
Tech might be able to confirm that. I'm also a bit suspicious of the bags and such. Let's be careful. Xander's warned us before about mixing
Yeah, magical
Pocket.
bags. Yeah.
magic pocket stuff, so don't throw them in the hole till we get a good look at them,
Yeah. I mean,
just in case.
what's casting time on like identify? It's 11 minutes.
At a
At a
ritual
yeah.
11 minutes, yeah. I mean, if
Oh my
Xander's
God.
doing anything else,
Yeah,
take 10
that's a
minutes and
good
do
point.
that.
Yeah, you could.
While the rest of us loot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah, we're just running around the room grabbing stuff to hand to him as he's sitting there
Oh
trying to
wait, does
cast.
yeah. Just
B2
make a
hands him a
giant
fork.
pile besides him.
Not understanding.
gives him a fork.
Just like one of the cups off the food table. Just
Hands him TNT. It's lit.
somebody else is just like, no, not that.
I'm sure he hasn't used the glasses yet, right?
I think he did. He did
This day.
in
Today? I don't remember.
I
yeah. It wasn't like it was the week before. He used it
On the mirror.
on maybe
the
the
cookbook?
mirror.
Was
The
it?
cookbook?
It was 2 weeks ago in that session. Last time I was here, he did
don't-
use the glasses.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Then
on the
that'd
book
be
that you
the-
found in the kitchen. It had to have been the mirror, if anything.
It is the
Yeah.
mirror.
Wasn't it the book in the kitchen?
I thought it was the book in the kitchen because B2
Okay.
solved the.
So let's
the
go to
mirror.
Discord and look at the loot channel.
Ooh.
And no, it is not in
Oh.
there. The book is not
Well,
in
no.
there.
It was not used. He's trying to say.
I don't
Yeah,
think
No.
the glasses were used personally. I don't remember that.
I don't remember it either, and I usually trust that. But it potentially could have been used for the mirror. I just can't remember how it was identified.
I think he used it, but either way, we're not like in a super rush right now, so we can take 10 minutes to do that while we're looking through
Yeah,
papers
sure.
and
Okay.
stuff. Also,
Yeah.
He would be very interested in the. We'll come back to that lock in a second. I know for a fact that Xander would be very interested in the notes that were written to Tharok and would want to go and read those.
Yeah.
So I know that
Those
everybody
letters
else is
and
not
such.
calling attention to those, but before he even.
we were gonna get there.
Okay, well then I'll let you get there when we get there then. So if
But he is not here, so that could have definitely been a thing he
That would've
would have got to.
Okay.
Right away.
okay,
That
All
would
right.
be gotten to. He's getting there quick. So be it.
So I would have somebody. There's a lot of notes and a lot of letters to read through and like pick out details that may or may not be important. So if someone, or it's Louise, Felix could roll
Yeah.
an investigation check for Xander, please.
Versus Xander. And
He's gonna get plus 11, I think, with advantage. Should be like a
plus 9 because it doesn't have the expertise.
oh, gotcha. So he'll roll like a 29.
Heck yeah.
So
27.
27.
Okay. Gotcha.
Come on, Tim. Like,
Let's see here. I had a different note pulled up. There we go. So there's a lot to read through here, and we can go maybe once Jason sees this video, maybe he'll have more questions about what was here. But I'm not gonna like sit here and read things off for 5 minutes straight. So the most important things found from this, just the cliff notes, are that the failed experiments. That there were failed experiments here at this chainless base due to a lack of a creature anchor. is what it's referring to, which caused portals to randomly generate in various parts of the world over the past few weeks and months. So
You
essentially,
call it a creature anchor?
that's what they're referencing. So they didn't previously have a creature anchor with which to conduct their experiments, which you would assume are various kinds of portals to other dimensions. And because they didn't have the creature anchor, their unsuccessful attempts were causing random portals to just open up across the country, across the world, in various parts of the world over the past few weeks and months. And so you immediately think back to the portal that opened up that brought Cerberus through. Because when he originally came through and was talking to the group, he asked the group questions like, "Are you the most powerful people in this land?" And was like not necessarily asking to ally with you, but he seemed fresh to the material plane in that initial encounter, which is obviously not the case anymore. But that's like the first mention that Xander would be like, "Oh, this is why this is happening." So their experiments were trying to create portals to like the Shadowfell and the Feywild specifically, and they needed creatures from those locations to use as anchors to be able to create permanent portals to those realms. It's not mentioned why, but that's what this base was based on, working on creating these portals. Another note, one dated a bit later, is a note directly from the Red King to Tharok Iron Soul saying that he successfully reached an Iron V and is working on finding something very special, but to keep him posted on the progress of funneling the Feyfell army towards River. And there's a small diagram of brain devices that allow them to overcome even the most powerful Shadowfell creatures and bend them to their will. Then there's a mention of the reason of bending these Shadowfell and Fey creatures to their will is that this base, you finally get the full sense of it, that they are trying to create an army of mind-controlled Fey creatures and Shadowfell creatures to work for the Chainless, and again, for the purpose of saving mankind when the next Titan attack occurs. There's another note that mentions that this is part of the same note. The main battery and its associated canisters are almost full, which is good because the majority of the army is already complete. And then a separate note, as Xander's looking through this, from just a few days ago. There is this is again directly from the Red King to Tharok. There is an expected attack in the coming days or weeks from the Turnback Towers of something. There has been a sighting of something very large, or some things, plural, heading from the Turnback Towers in the direction of River, and this is likely due to the toxic fog being lifted within Anchor's Folly. I guess that did take me 5 minutes to go over all of that, so I apologize.
You're good.
It's all pretty important.
Did you say that
information?
The army was almost complete, or it was complete?
It's the note says that the majority of the army is almost complete. And this was dated from this particular one was dated from 6 days ago. It's the same piece of paper, and there's handwriting from the Red King, or from someone, but it's signed as the Red King. And then below that looks like different scrawling, and is not signed, but looks, and Garen would notice this as orc handmanship. That's not a word at all. Penmanship.
That makes
Penmanship.
sense. That's what Garen would think in his head, I'm sure.
Okay.
Handmanship.
Perfect. But it looks like they were communicating to each other on the same piece of paper back and forth.
Interesting.
They have owls.
I love Goblin's Notebook, by the way, Chris.
It's such a good tool.
It's
Such a
so
good tool.
good. Such a great way to write notes down.
What is it? Goblin Notebook?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So you're both using that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
I write it in Google first, and then I go back because you can connect names, so that way when you're writing the note, you can click, oh, what's this again? You click the name, and it takes you to that description you've
Oh
written.
man, that's why
So-
you guys are so spot on when I'm like this NPC, and you're like, I know who that is, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I write it in Google first, and then I move it.
Awesome.
I wonder if writing on the piece of paper and then putting it in that small little chest is how it communicates. If this is a place of teleportation, what if they have simplified it in a simpler terms with paper?
That's. I feel like that's pretty likely.
Maybe not necessarily that
Razier,
small.
could you stick your face in the small chest?
Stick your face in there.
Let me look real close at it. Try again.
At the box. Okay. Yeah. Make a perception check. Only because it's really fun. No way. No way.
No, dude.
What?
The world's doomed.
But that's if we count the rolls from the last week.
Yeah, all his
That's-
perceptions have been ones.
The fourth, like if we count like the advantage as like two separate rolls, that's fourth roll in a row for perception, which Razier rolled a 1.
Not to mention he rolled a nat 1 on Black Star. Like
Also,
Yeah.
Oh. We're still recovering.
This is why
Yeah,
I love D&D. I love nat 1 so much.
Wow.
Well,
So I
so
hold the
that-
box up to my head. I hold the box up, and the tendrils are just. Great. I'm done. I ain't doing it till no. Ain't working. It's far too frustrating. Let Xander do it.
Is the box that scary?
Ain't the box.
Is that what I look
You
like when
can't
I get
see it.
angry?
There's
kind of.
magic stuff going on all around this place. It's getting in my face and being annoying.
Beach,
we'll do-
Beach is gonna walk up and like try to wipe like there's something in his face. Like just try to clear it for him.
we're,
Is
we're,
this helping?
Just deadpan stare. Just
so
he
so
can
we're
see you do that because of the
Yeah.
tentacles.
no.
So
I've
we're-
turned my eyes off at this point.
we're never gonna have an animated series of our game, which is sad. But I can clearly envision Razier's as a character and just white tendrils like spaghetti just all over his face. just like just like throwing the box.
We don't see anything. We're just like, what's it look like? What do
Right,
you see?
right. It goes back from like you guys' perspective, and then Razier's perspective, and then your guys' perspective. Oh, so good. That was so funny. Okay, yeah. So what is Xander identifying something specifically?
We talked about doing the chest.
The one that
because
that
the-
Razier was
the
just
paper
talking.
box.
Just look.
Yeah, the one with
Yeah.
that could fit the paper.
Cloak,
Gotcha.
paper box. Double checking the bags, but those can wait till later.
Sure.
Just so we don't lose it, let's put the bag in the hole.
Okay.
And the
so
campaign's over.
so the first thing is this box that a paper fits inside of, right? So he takes 11 minutes to ritually cast identify, right? There's no material components for that, right? Because it's ritual. It's just he just.
I believe there's a gem, but it's not consumed. Like it's a focus for the spell.
I'm not trying
basically.
to slow things down here. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that
No.
we're keeping on track of things. That's all. Because he's not here.
Understandable.
A pearl word at Lucita, yeah.
Okay. All right. So it is a transportation letterbox. And when a piece of paper is put into it, it transports that singular piece of paper to its partnered chest and can receive a singular piece of paper if there's not already one inside of it from its partnered box, which you can assume, based on the letters written back and forth, that it goes directly to the Red King.
Yeah.
So now we have a way to send prank mail to the Red King. It's like a little drawing with a goblin with his pulling his pants down and mooning him.
It does not have a limited number of uses. It seems infinite. Not a like once per day kind of thing. It's just whenever it's opened, paper in, close, disappears.
So we put that in the hole, right?
I feel like Blackstar would want to keep it so he could just keep trolling.
Sending
Red
hate
King.
mail to the...
Alex is gonna love writing hate mail to the Red King.
Yeah.
Just took down your base.
In loot. How do we call that in
Bro,
loot? So Alex.
I don't have a description for it.
There's
so.
also gonna be he's gonna send him like spam mail, like flyer ads, like
We're
oh
trying
hey we'd
to
like to buy
reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Yeah, car's extended warranty. We're interested in buying your house. Sending him like bills.
Cash for cars.
Yeah.
Donate your boat.
Random religious pamphlets he finds.
Oh man, he'll just be looking for papers or just stuff in there and just send.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to be sure, the Red Cage's just gonna have a whole stack of paper in that, so he doesn't get any more.
Anytime he finds like maybe a porno mag or something that's going in there.
Wow.
Wait, but is it like one sheet of paper at a time, or is it like you can put like a whole magazine in there?
It's an
one
article
sheet of paper
of.
at a time.
It's.
If
it were like a pamphlet of some kind, that would be considered one piece of paper, right? That could be.
But if it's
there.
like a magazine, which is like
that
multiple
one piece of paper at a time, one page at a time is going through.
It's petty, but it's
keeping
great.
in mind the Red King would have to open it and receive it, take it out, close it for the next one to come.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little bit.
We're patient. We're patient people.
A Black Star would be committed to the bit.
He would.
Yeah.
Yep. That's going to be something that he does for sure, which is going to be awesome.
Every night, just send him a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Start just being his pen pal. Ask him how his day was.
One night, he's just like, "You up?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the boy I want to tell you about. Yeah.
You pooping? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
That'll be fun. That will be fun.
Let's take a brief break from this, and we'll go out, and B2 and Garen go out to help Bertrude out in the courtyard. We'll come back because there is still maybe some things to identify and go over with here. So you guys head out. The outcasts have exited the keep and make your way around the side of the puddle jumpers that are here. And this tree seems it's smaller than Enosis by a little bit. But it's kind of like sprawled out, its limbs kind of pinned to the ground with ropes and stakes, as I had mentioned earlier, but it seems to be unmoving.
Can I look for a heartbeat?
Make either a nature or medicine check, your choice.
Does it make good? Oh no, it does make a difference.
With advantage, don't forget.
Ooh.
That's how you roll.
I wish I could hear the dice rolling. I don't know why that sound is turned off.
You don't hear it at all? That's weird.
I don't hear it at all. Yeah. I see the number, which is all
I
that
don't even
matters.
have music on.
Really? Does anybody else not have music?
No, I have music.
I hear music.
I've got music.
Okay. You've got it on mute.
Oh yeah, I
is that
do.
what you said?
Really low.
I've got music.
I've got it on mute, so don't worry about me. I hate your music. With a 21, yeah, you go over and so the tree has less of a heartbeat necessarily and more of a breathing, right? And it's very, very, very slow to where you can feel a slight reverberation on the bark itself, and the leaves kind of move ever so faintly. It seems as though she is unconscious, but still alive.
She's still alive.
So we should free her, and he'll start like taking off the rope or the spikes or just.
Yeah. I'm gonna tap on her.
I thought you were gonna say hacking at the limbs. Just
We should free her.
get my axe
You're
out.
handcuffed.
Can't be handcuffed if you don't have hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tap
Exactly.
I'll tap on her and say we're gonna get you to your love, Bertrude, and then I'll start removing anything that's keeping her restrained.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask you to make rolls for this, but if a really strong, like, big tree couldn't rip these out of the ground, it takes. I mean, you're very strong, and so is B2, but it takes a few minutes to actually pull the stakes out and get everything, because you've got all of your limbs available to you and focused on each individual pin.
Dig
in the
around
ground.
the stakes and stuff. to
Yeah,
loosen
kind
them,
of
so it's
loosen
an
them out,
individual thing
back and
rather
forth,
than-
and finally, rip every single one out and release the ropes. She does not regain consciousness currently, so she's just laying there, unroped.
Do you know how to heal anything?
B2 looks at his two weapons. No.
Yeah, that's not really my strong suit either. I have a potion. Do you think that would work?
Yes. Magic seems to work in weird ways, so there would be no harm in trying. If not, we could always go get berries. Those seem to be
That just
very
seems-
powerful.
I never felt right about Enosis eating berries, but he was fine with it. Maybe she'll be fine with it. Sure, yeah. Let's go back to Louise then. I'm sure they got everything done by the time we get back.
Surely
mean-
there will be no problems.
With Xander identifying things, it's going to be like 40, 50, 60 minutes before everything's identified in this
Yeah,
room.
Garen has just assumed it's going to be done.
He's like,
Okay.
the nerdy people will solve it.
So Blackstar goes over to investigate and unlock this closet door.
Oh, someone's at the
So-
door. Be right back.
So Eric, go ahead and roll an investigation and a lockpicking, or just investigation first. Just keep it at that for now. A natural 3. Nope. Ooh, natural 20.
Oh,
Nice.
about time.
All right. There is a trap on this, but even with that investigation check, it is a very, very simple, like, it's an arcane alarm at the top of this. That's not really a trap. It's an alarm. So he's not really concerned with setting off an alarm in this instance.
Now the lockpick. Yeah, no problem.
29. I'm going to move Blackstar's token over here. So he unlocks and opens the door, and inside is Therok's personal collection of wines and whiskeys on the inside of this closet.
I think Blackstar would just open that door, see it, I'll just be like, Louise, the hole is open, right?
Yeah.
We have a lot to put in there.
Oh. I mean, aren't you gonna drink most of that before it even goes in the hole?
Might say something like, I can hold my liquor, but this is a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are those like built-in shelves? Are like they attached to the wall? Because this is like a stone walls, or are there just shelves there?
These ones are built into the wall.
Darn it. Well,
Blackstar begins the long process of pulling out one bottle, looking at the label, putting it in the hole, pulling out a bottle, looking
every
at the
single
label,
one.
nodding,
That's a good year.
taking a little,
That's
taking
a good year.
opening one up, or taking a little
That's a
sip,
good year.
putting
That's
it
a
in.
good year.
They're not super extra fancy great. They're like pretty good. It's like the Therock didn't have very good taste in liquor, so it's his personal stock, but it isn't the best he could have selected based on cost or anything. It's just what his personal taste was, which was not great.
It's his personal stock of boxed wine.
He was a really big fan of Jim Beam, so
Okay.
It says a lot about him.
anyways, but yeah, so there's a stock of alcohol here.
No, there's a stock of alcohol in the hole.
That is correct. Yep, over
All right,
the
so
course of that. What's the
I'll
next
just
item that
put
Xander's...
Stash of alcohol.
Yeah,
Cloak second.
it was the
if he
cloak.
does the box first. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what? The cloak?
Yeah.
Okay. This one, I have something to give you.
I think at this point, Louise would hear Garen yelling his name as he approaches the room. He's not there yet, but he's saying it. He's screaming her name.
I just go outside. You know I can basically hear you anywhere you are. You don't have to yell, right?
I mean, I was yelling for a while. You didn't hear it before.
Oh, snap.
You
Well,
are.
yeah,
Ooh, I wonder who this is for.
I want to see, but I also want to say
He's not even here.
the tree's unconscious. That's all I want to say.
All right, Bray. Bard or Warlock?
What about Bard and Warlock?
Must be for B2.
Your Discord open.
Or
There
me.
it is.
You know, I am a Warlock.
Yeah.
Right. Loot. Oh wow.
Imposing. I mean, if you're imposing. Yeah.
Ooh.
Fun fact, it gives you invisibility at like the 5th level thing, and it specifically says you get advantage on your self check. Invisibility already did that.
Yeah.
Right, it's just a
Yeah, I know. It's,
reiteration of that.
It's funny.
All right. Dang.
Time to put one level in Warlock.
Wait. So wait. With this, yeah. Oh my god. With this, every hit of his like, if he uses the dagger, it's going to be 3d6 plus 1d4 plus his damage bonus.
Nice.
I don't know if because you guys are here, Jay and Chris. We've talked about fabled items before.
Yeah.
You haven't explained them, but you've like mentioned the
You've
other
mentioned
people's
them.
leveling up, but
Yeah.
not the
'Cause-
context in
yeah.
the sense of the
Sure.
rules or anything about it.
So there are items in this world that level up as people level up, and that's they get cooler and cooler things, and so it's items that are designed to grow with people, and they're pretty cool. And so
We can access more of their power as we get to higher levels.
That's
Exactly.
cool. Are these,
Anything.
if you don't mind me asking, are these items like you personally have come up with, or?
so the ones that the existing party before you guys joined came from the Vault of Magic, I believe. I forget what it's called. That was where the idea of the fabled items came from, which I instituted. They got their fabled items at level 2 on like session 2 or 3, so that they'd be able to use them as the campaign went on. And then because Alex decided not to play his previous monk character anymore who had a fabled item, he's gone all of this time since like session 17 all the way until now without having another fabled item. And I mentioned at the end of last session that the glaive, which Xander is about to identify at some point here, is pretty special. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But I didn't actually answer your question. So I came up with the concept of this particular item. I can't say that I wrote the wording specifically, but I came up with the idea for it. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. I'm a big fan as a DM. I like how DMs add like certain homebrew like mechanics or something to it. That's really cool.
So that
Is there
turns
something-
Black Star into me. It makes Black Star
Oh, with his darkness.
have Razir vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait, you could just create an orb of darkness like on himself, and Zender and him could be in that orb of darkness and see through it perfectly fine.
I made him wait 43 sessions to get his second fabled item, so I wanted it to be really cool, and I figured this was pretty cool. Plus,
When are the rest of us getting our second fabled item? Huh?
second fabled item. Okay.
You said it, not me.
True.
What did I say?
Your second fabled
Oh,
item.
his second. Well, because it's a different character. Come on now.
Semantics.
It's not this
Semantics.
character's second item. It's his. Anyways,
Details matter. Details matter.
Garen comes in the door as everybody's kind of marveling at this, and Xander's sharing with everyone what this cloak does. I'm sure that Black Star would be having something to say about it and marveling over it. But what does Garen say as he walks in the door?
Louise, we need you to pick this tree up. It's not responding to anything me.
I figured you'd be more suited to pick up a tree with, your giant muscles.
I must spit my beer out.
No. I meant like you did for those two before. There's like those guys outside. You picked them
You
up.
mean heal them? Yeah, I guess, yeah.
We're saying this. We're saying the same thing. Yes, please.
Yeah, no, it's... How did... I'm blanking on his name. I know I have it written down somewhere.
Novus?
And Novus, yeah, how did he feel about eating the berries?
I don't remember if he was happy about it, but he was willing to do it just to feel better because he was pretty beat up.
Alright, so I guess then she'd also be fine with eating the berries then?
One way to find out. You want me to bring it to her?
Yeah,
or
no,
do you-
I'll come over because...
Okay.
It's kind of hard to chew when you're unconscious, so I'll just heal her first and then give her some berries.
My man. Okay.
My man.
I also need. Actually, no. I don't need any more berries. I'm gonna take the load off and relax.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so does B2 go back out, or was B2 out there the whole time, just staying out there and...
Yeah, I think he
Just stay next to the.
standing at the tree waiting for Garen, just like Garen's bringing berries. And I think B2 doesn't understand like that she's unconscious, so he's just talking to her the whole time, just like, yeah, we found your husband. He was being chased by people from a different realm, and it was terrifying. One guy was floating, and I couldn't hit him. It made me very sad. And then just like your
Therapy session.
your husband for a tree hides very well.
Your husband for a tree. I want a t-shirt that says your husband for a tree hides very well. That's so good.
The commas need to be there in the
Yeah.
response.
Yeah, they're
Your
optional.
husband for a tree hides pretty well.
I like that.
It'll
That's
still
a good,
be
that's a good
extremely
saying.
absurd for someone reading it, but it will make more sense.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, Garen and Louise eventually return to where Bertrude is, and you're going to do Healing Word or Cure Wounds, or what are you going to
Yeah, I mean, I have healing word always. Cure wounds, I'm always prepared. Yeah, so I'll do that. There it is. So, it rolls it on my. Oh, my healing.
Oh, wow. So you kind of
Nice.
concentrate and close your eyes and pour the healing into the bark, and you hear kind of this crackling sound of the leaves kind of flex for a moment, and these gigantic eyes on the front of this tree kind of snap open. Her eyes like shift to the left where you guys are currently standing next to her. She like goes to move her arms, and one giant arm comes over like down next to where Garen is, like just narrowly missing you. like the ground kind of like explodes with dirt and little rocks and things.
Why do you guys like to attack me? Both your trees attacked me.
But it's like not like I knew you were standing there.
Well, Gnosis it was punching me when I was trying to help him last time, and now.
Don't worry, he's fine. We didn't hit him back.
No.
Misunderstanding.
Yeah.
She's still pretty big. Her arm, like right next to yours, still just like right next to you, kind of like leans over and looks at you sideways.
Do you need help getting up?
I don't think so. Who are you? I heard a Gnosis.
Oh yeah. I'm Garen. You want to introduce yourself? Cool.
I am B2.
We met your husband, what was it, 2 days ago? 3 days?
He's not my husband.
Oh, they're gonna get married. They're betrothed.
Oh, I thought they were...
Who said that?
He said beloved. He never actually said
beloved.
No,
sorry.
he said
betrothed.
He said betrothed.
Oh, yeah.
Did he? Oh, okay.
He did.
Sorry, I misspoke.
Looks over all of you, kind of like nods a bit, and like goes to like sit into a sitting position, and she's like 12 feet tall from her sitting position. Kind of looks down at the rest of you, kind of cross-legged.
Legged.
Cross-legged.
You and L words today, I suppose.
Yeah, having a bit of a trouble. Having a bit of a trouble. Yep, there it is. There it is.
Having a bit of a trouble, governor.
Looks over the rest of you and kind of pays no mind to everyone except for B2. A bit far from home, aren't you?
Oh, you guys gonna say the same thing?
Well, yeah. You're not the first one to say that, yet no one can tell me where home is.
Home is where... What's the light?
Home is where the heart is.
Where, yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't you belong in some court or something?
Yeah.
That's what I've been told. Yet, once again, no one is able to tell me what court, or whose court, or what's a court, or...
A bunch of fancy nobles just kind of, shaking their heads around, making decisions and kind of throwing coins at things to make things go away. Anyways, you...
Sounds like a tavern.
How are you feeling?
She kind of like nods, like thinking about what B2 just said. That's quite logical. I appreciate your bit of insight there. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do I feel all right? I feel fine. Like to go for a walk.
I mean,
I'm not dead.
Right. Yeah.
Please, just take him. He's mostly dead.
Feel fine. Like to go for a walk.
What were they doing with you while you were here?
Well, they thought they could use me for some kind of brain transfer, locking into something. They were asking me all kinds of questions about how I was going to help them and how I would be subdued. And she like takes this, like she has like a metal cap on part of one of the, like it looks like they had sawed off one of the limbs like up near where her head is and placed some kind of metal cap, which is the same type of device but larger than what the spiders on top of the roof were wearing, which are still up there, by the way, just weaving webs and all that. So she like kind of like pries it off, and it makes like a cracking sound as it cracks in her hand as she kind of like takes it off and hands it to you. And it's got like bits of the bark, and there's like some sap on the inside, kind of sticky, and it's cracked on one side. Hands it over if you take it from her. It's this weird thing. They they thought they could, infiltrate and do all kinds of things and allow them to continue whatever they were working on, but I refused, and they decided to put me to sleep for who knows how long.
Well, you're safe now, just so you know. We took care
Oh,
of all the bad people in this keep.
and is Enosis nearby?
Nearby.
All the way
Relatively.
across the lake.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not. Like
Should,
he's not reachable at the moment.
I mean, wait, the center of sending.
How much daylight is there?
Oh, at this point now, yeah. So the sun has began to come up, and there's bits of hints of oranges and pinks and purples kind of in the sky, just kind of beckoning the morning sun.
Yeah, I think Garen's gonna. If there's a way for him to see over from where he's standing, if he can see over the water or the moat.
So if you walk to the entrance, like where the walls are, there is the drawbridge, which is folded down and acting as a dock, kind of sticking out over the water.
Okay.
So you can't see over the 40-foot walls, but going to that entry point, you can see out and across to where you guys were previously looking in on this location. There isn't anything. You don't see a Gnosis because it's just for one thing. It's
no
actually
way.
I would say it's too far away, but you have 1,000 feet.
Yeah, I
You
could
see-
I could see super far, but
You know
there's
what?
no way I could see him.
Make a perception check. Do you have oh, it doesn't matter if you have dark vision or not. He doesn't
I
have
do
any.
have
I
dark
mean,
vision.
it
He
does.
doesn't have any. He doesn't have any fire near him. It's too dark at this point. You wouldn't be able to see him. I'm not
You're
gonna
looking for a
ask that.
specific tree in a forest from
Yeah,
a
it's not
mile
happening.
away.
Yeah, Garrett would just point at trees, saying like, "Hey, that could be him." That or I remember he had.
He's got pretty distinct features. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to see him.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
It's a little dark, so I understand you might have trouble.
That's probably it. Yeah. Yeah, but he's out there. He told us to call him or like let him know when it was happening, and he would join or do something. But
He said if he
guess-
needed help, as he said,
If we
would
needed
come
help,
to your
okay.
aid. Yeah. She like goes to stand up, kind of like standing on the ground, and now her full height is like maybe 30 feet tall. She's longer
Wow.
on the bottom with her legs and all that. So kind of like looking down at you. She's still not as tall as the walls, but well, all right. I'm just as likely to go find him out in the woods. Think it's safe enough?
Not right now, actually. I think unless those guys took care of the patrolling squads out there, I don't think it would be safe to go out just yet. I don't know how long it's been since I've had that conversation with that
With
that guy, the captain.
At this point,
superhero wannabe.
probably 20, 30 minutes maybe.
Then no, yeah, it's. I think you should just sit tight, take a
Rest
breather,
up.
wait till the sun's a bit more.
I'm still a bit banged up and bruised. If you have anything that I could,
This guy
do me a bit
has
better.
got you covered. This guy has
Oh.
the best thing. So, well, it's yummy. Yeah.
Oh.
You'll
She looks Louise up and down. At least you're wearing pretty colors.
Yeah, got them in a town that might not exist anymore, but yeah.
Oh,
Surprisingly enough, made of spider silk.
I was just referring to the green, kind of blends
Yeah,
in.
yeah, I knew that was. Yeah. So, do you want any berries?
B2's gonna lean over to Garen. I see why they say he's a charmer with the ladies.
this guy. We can learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
She just long drawn out pauses. You say berries, and you're holding up like a sack of berries,
Yeah.
basically.
Just a pouch.
A little bit of
Pouch
juice
berries.
dripping.
I don't know how I feel about that. Are those, picked freshly?
No, I just create them with magic.
gives this really scrutinizing look at you. She like in her standing state kind of leans way in, and you hear the creaking of the wood as her back kind of arches, and she comes down really close to Louise. Look, your berries are going to help me, right? That's what I'm hearing from you. All right. Promise you won't tell Enosis.
I look back at Garand. Didn't Enosis eat some of the berries? Yeah, I
so
promise
good.
not a word. And
Right.
I give her like a handful of
Just a
berries.
handful. She kind of like takes some, kind of like looks
Looks
around
like-
as though somebody's watching her. She kind of like pops them in her mouth.
Let's just
You
so I
see
have
a bit of
clean
like
number.
juice kind of flow out of the sides of her mouth a bit, and she kind of takes a couple of leaves on her wrists and kind of cleans up a little bit, and seems to be in much better shape. But at your behest, she does sit down and wait, seemingly until it's time for her to be able to exit and get back to where she needs to go. Was there any other interaction with her that you were hoping to have? She is appreciative for the berries. She kind of nods towards Louise, but pretends like nothing happened.
I think I'm set. I just wanted to make sure she was okay, that she was at least healed up a little, and learn about what they were doing with her. But I'm sure that's all she could tell me, so I'm good.
Yeah, she, you get the sense from her that she's given you all the information she had. She was just an innocent kind of caught in the crossfire, and it's pretty self-explanatory from the notes that were found, and then also the brain controlling device that you saw, and the spiders were up on the roof and everything. It's pretty easy to decipher what was going on here. They were attempting to use her as a funnel or an anchor to the Feywild, because that's where they're from, right? But
Anchor creature?
Seems as though it didn't work, and perhaps they found another means. Perhaps one of the reasons why you're here.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Find out next week.
I
I used to be
do.
really good at that.
It is interesting that no one has seemed to bring up was it Buttercup? Yeah, Buttercup.
Yeah.
No one's brought it up yet. But Garrett, I guess I would imagine would it be the one to do it though, because he forgot who that is all the time.
Before we entered, we knew why we were coming in here and stuff. We just haven't found him yet.
They lost Buttercup in like episode 24 or something, or 26. I don't remember. So it's been
when Donnie was still playing with us.
so even earlier than that, then probably like
Yeah.
episode 23 or something, or 22.
Yeah.
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Tim,
No, it's
In
been like
game,
a month.
maybe like
At least a
month.
month.
it's been a month, I think. Is
No.
is Bertrude over here where I'm pinging?
No, I'm not even.
The boat trip was only like a week.
I've been theatering of the minding it. She's over here.
So can I go over there and see everything?
If you want to. The whole map is. I have it, unpaused. You guys can go wherever you want to go.
Okay, I was just asking before doing.
I appreciate that. I greatly appreciate
Could
that.
you drag Razir outside so we get the whole map, Eric?
Bertrude.
Yeah, let me go ahead and.
Is this a tower?
That's so
Yeah.
much faster.
Let me
Oh my God.
let me help you with this situation.
Hey, the sun.
Yay! Oh my
it's
God,
doors-
we got the
doors
whole
locked.
half of the building we haven't explored yet.
Yeah. Isn't there a whole library?
Fog of War progress was reset for this scene.
That's fair.
I just lost everything.
Oh my God,
Okay.
Slaying, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't even have the rooms we came in through now.
Garen is satisfied.
Well, I gave you a little vision
Yes.
of it, and then realized that I shouldn't have done that and reset the fog of war.
I mean, I didn't. I was zoomed in, so I didn't see anything. I just saw what was around Garen
It's fine.
at the moment.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Summary of being a DM. Oops, I gave a little too much.
Uh-huh. Yep. Happens all the time. Okay. So she sits down. She's kind of like, ready to
Take the load off.
take a rest and wait for the go ahead to go out to go find a Gnosis. We come back into the room, and you guys can, wherever it is that you can actually go, because I know you can't unlock the doors and all that. What is the next piece of gear that Xander? Because it's 11 minutes each time one of these things is identified.
And the
So what's-
glaive.
The glaive. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think the bags.
Yeah.
is next.
By the way,
Yeah.
super cool how you're jumping back and forth from scene to scene.
Thanks.
These guys might be used to it, but I'm not, so it's cool.
Oh,
Yeah, like after a bit
Alex
of time,
reacted-
just numb to it.
I didn't see that Alex reacted to
Oh, you
the
did?
the
Jeez.
Phantom's Veil. All right, we ready for this?
Yeah.
Glaive of the Iron Sentinel.
I don't know who's that for. who
I'm
that's for.
hugging Chris.
Requires attunement by a fighter.
I wonder who that.
Huh.
So Xander,
I'm
right?
technically a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, you do have fighter levels, yeah.
Yeah,
The
you know, Garen the glaive user.
Yeah. Garrett just uses it as a back scratcher. It's like I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight with this though. That's really cool. Wow.
20 extra force damage. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did
For a minute.
did Tharok use any of these abilities? Oh, the thunderous charge, I think.
He was trying to use the Thunderous
Yeah.
Charge. He was not very successful in using it at all, but
He should have used it
He
on
was
someone
trying.
else.
yeah.
Oh, did it work? Oh, so it's a D6 for attack, which is a D4 since it's the 9th level version.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's really cool. Wow.
Plant the grave in the ground to create a 20-foot radius protective aura around you. Ooh.
Saving throw against spells and other magical effect.
Oh, it's a D6 extra.
Yeah, at level
Yeah,
9,
level
it's D6 force damage. It's a really cool item, like with a mix of like offensive and defensive features.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder who gets it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
We
I don't
could
know if
sell
it feels.
if-
I don't know if it feels a little cheaty, but I wanted everybody to have a fabled item, so it's not.
Yeah.
No big deal. No, don't
I
feel
don't think
bad.
it's. I don't think it's cheaty. Then you can give us even more difficult fights.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously though, that last fight was so fun.
Oh well, thanks.
That
I'm glad you felt that way.
that wall was so clutch from Xander, and that firewall just made for some very fun interactions with all the characters. The mages were mad though.
Okay. So you said Xander. So I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything that anybody said that they wanted to do. But Xander's just sitting here for 11 minutes at a time. Minutes are just melting by. So what is everybody doing? Just walking
maybe
around
not
the
the
keep
bags. I think just those three things. Although
And
we
just to
could
be sure, we keep the bag like out of the holes.
Yeah, just put it in somebody's backpack.
Yeah.
So there was the bag that the shadow or the Phantom Veil was in, and there was the other satchel bag that was on the back of the commander's chair.
Yeah, which we would look through as well.
Okay. So you take it out and open it up, and it's empty.
Okay.
Can I just go around?
I mean,
The
there's an easy way to
keep-
check this. Take one of the cups off the table, put it in the bag.
Okay. So do you
Just
do
there. Yeah.
that? Okay. So you take the cup out and vanishes.
All right, yeah. So
On-
most
on
likely
which
Hold
one?
of bagging.
The chair one.
That's the chair bag, yeah. The one that's hanging on the back.
Okay.
It's like it's like a backpack.
Try
Each
the-
loop is on the back of the. Yeah.
we
Okay,
have
so
even
it's
more
haversack.
space to put stuff in the bag of hold and the portable hole now.
Yep.
We have
Yeah,
a
we
hold
can-
of bagging.
That's a handy haversack, I'm guessing. The other one, the one the cloak was in, is that same?
That's you take a cup and put it in, and you can see it at the bottom.
That one's toss that off to the side. That one's nothing. This one doing some magic here. Good thing we didn't put it in the hole.
Yep. So who wants the bag?
Not me.
Someone who's willing to keep track of a list of things.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could keep track of a list.
This is it. This is the moment. Chris has dedicated himself to keeping track of a list of things inside of something. But the group is just going to be like, put it in the bag.
Yeah.
Because it's easier than opening up a hole.
You have to coordinate with Felix on where stuff's going and what's in what storage.
Right.
So
And he has to
bigger
take
stuff
the
like
bag.
bearskin rugs,
take the bag
statues,
off
yeah, brick
before he jumps
in the hole.
He has to take
Yeah,
the bag off
he
before
can
he
hide
jumps
in the
into
hole. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if
gosh.
we do that, just the person who stays out of the hole, just give them the bag.
Yeah. It's something we just got to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. This is it.
I'll keep track of
It's
it.
officially happening. So is
Yeah.
there an identify happening on this or no?
On the bag?
Here, you can. If B2 feels there's something wonky about it after an hour of wearing it around, you can let us know.
Suddenly B2 standing behind one of you. You feeling okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we want to take a short rest? So, do we want to actually spend an hour here, heal up a bit
Yeah.
with hit dice?
I feel
I do. I
Because
definitely.
if so, then Xander can just keep doing ritual casting.
Yeah.
Does he get to do a short rest while ritual casting?
I don't.
I
remember.
I
I
thought
don't think he suffered anything. So who?
You
was
cover
another
He did.
some spell slots.
He did take some damage because he decided to get closer to the fight. So
Yeah.
okay.
he took one hit and he was half health. So yeah.
it's true. It's true. Funny you should mention that. I'm pretty sure
Okay, yeah,
Black
he-
Star
he
has
can't
fewer hit points than
cast.
Xander does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he? Huh?
Uh-huh.
He was in the thick of it for a bit too.
Then
He
again,
was
he
victim
also does not have an AC of, what is it, 14 with the mage armor?
True. Yeah, 14 with major.
Well,
armor.
Black Star has more health than Xander at this point.
Yeah.
67, 63. Okay, by 4. Yeah, 4 hit points.
Woo!
Yeah.
It counts. It matters. Those 4.
Razier has the
Yeah.
third lowest. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I was second highest.
who has
until
the
we
highest?
got two big beefcakes came out.
BB.
Came around.
Yep.
If-
There's the muscles. Yep. Okay.
I mean, if I were to be selfish and not give aid to anyone but me.
All right. So,
It
what
would be-
so what
the
we're
egg
gonna
was
do-
definitely useful.
we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our break here
Mm-hmm.
at the short rest. You guys can do your short rest things, and we'll come back and pick up from this point. If you want to identify anything else, we can do that. If not, we'll move on with the remainder of the exploration of the keep and attempting to find out how to progress further.
Yeah.
All right.
See everybody in a bit. So, jumping back into where we were, I think we were going to go through the remainder of... Xander, was he going to identify the bag, or you were moving on from that and doing something else?
Moving on.
Okay.
I mean, then again, we're taking a short rest, so we could identify it during the short rest.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's what
We
we're
could have
doing.
done all these during that instead of him sitting there.
Right, well, there were,
Yeah,
there were
but
other,
we'll say-
other things going on in the interim
Yeah.
with Bertrude
Yeah.
and all that.
Either way, yeah.
Okay.
Let's explore.
Can't roll hit dice for the other two.
Okay. For you're playing Black Star, so
They'll have to do that.
Oh yeah.
okay.
Any advice on how much hit dice I should use for a short rest?
Like
By the way. Okay.
What
Yeah.
I do is I'll do like on average, what is my hit die and how much would that heal?
I see.
What do you want me to roll for Bard versus Warlock hit die for Black Star?
Aren't they the same? They're both D8s.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many?
So
How much is he missing?
The Bard is
that...
it's 1d8. Oh, they're both 1d8 plus 1. He has 5 for
Yeah.
Warlock and 4 for Bard.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Whichever it doesn't.
Let's see, he needs 41 health, so that's
Just
an average of
roll as many as he needs until he's like at full, basically.
probably, yeah.
Okay. Does it automatically add to his hit points? Or
Yes.
No? It
If you
didn't.
if you click the, it depends on which button you click. If you do the one that Beyond 20 adds in, it won't, but the one on D&D Beyond will.
All right. And he loses temp HP since we're taking a short rest.
Yep.
I'm rolling on D&D Beyond, and it is not. It's not automatically adding it. So 9 plus 7 is 16.
Stuff is finally drying up. Nice. It's about time.
16 plus 32.
I need to put Tim back at the top. There we go.
Okay.
Xander.
There we go. He used 4 hit dice, and he's at 64 HP. Does that work? His max is 67. You want me to roll one more time?
Yes. I mean, he gets a
good.
D8 from my chef feat.
An extra D8 on
D8.
top of what he's...
Yeah, off top of his healing, yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention that.
Where does that come from?
I rolled a 3, so he's at exactly max health.
Great. Where does what come from?
The D8.
It's from my chef feat, so basically when we do a short rest, I just make some
okay.
food and give D8. Fills an extra D8.
Gotcha.
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 Governor.
Okay. So moving on. You feel that you have thoroughly investigated the commander's chambers. Unless you... Are you taking the maroon carpet as well as the bearskin rug? Or any food that's on the table?
I mean, the bearskin rug, I already added that to the whole, so we have 3 right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Aaron will
we
take
have
the food.
stash of that.
Okay.
He's got to hit his macros.
You could just put in, if Garen wants to take down like 3 food rations. That's fine.
Yes.
But the maroon rug that's in here, don't care about that?
No,
Nope.
it's not a bearskin rug.
Okay.
I'm guessing
Gotcha.
this is the bearskin rug is an inside joke from the earlier.
Yeah, I
session.
think the first thing we put in the hole was a bearskin rug and the golden statues.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so out in the main entry hall, there are intricately carved runes that like light up in this light blue fashion that look like they're powered by like cables that run down into the floor from the canisters that are up on the roof, and so it's giving this like nice light blue glow to the inside of this entry hall. The door to the Grand Library was unlocked and left open as one of the guards was attempting to go out and around on the outside of this, which means
I forgot I wanted to ask, but those are the same statues we found in the Requiem, right?
I mean, the assets that I have are somewhat limited, so
All right, so it's not the
I
exact.
was gonna
they're
ask
not exactly the same.
if I recognized or if I could glean anything from the statues.
Um, they they s- they're not as intricate as some other statues that some of you may have experienced in your travels. So they look like they're just for decoration in this entry hall. They don't have any specific meaning as far as historical or religious presence in this space.
Gotcha.
There are a lot of paintings in the entry hall, as there were in the meeting hall, depicting various things. And as you, yeah,
Can I look for one that looks like if I look through all of them, is there one that's like this showing a desert?
let me see if there's one that displays a desert.
Or desert like sand and stuff?
There aren't any that depict a desert. No.
Okay. Okay. I'll just keep following everyone then.
Okay. Where are you guys heading? Towards the...
To the Great Library.
The library,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. What's this at the top here?
Yeah, the northern section here is the Grand Library, indeed.
The door is closed.
It won't let me unlock it. Oh. My one time
Only
to try
the
to
left
open a door.
Only the left door was unlocked. So yeah, as you enter into this, you see a just shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves just lining the walls and all mixed in between, and like this was set up for a study hall where wizards or astronomers or scholarly people would be situated to examine the texts that are here. The one thing that catches your attention as you kind of give a cursory glance to the books that are here, none of them have anything written on the binding. Not a single one in sight that you can see currently. But
Same.
in the corners... Oh.
Are there any any form of like signage in terms of like this is a section for these kinds of books or no?
Nope. No labeling of any kind. In the corners of the rooms, you do see a couple of tables set up, like some of the mages here from Anaria's Watch, the chainless themselves, would have been set up with, like there's an open book at the one that you're near right now. And although the image shows that there's text on the page, the open book that lays on the table with a lantern kind of illuminating it slightly in the corner with a bit of food and like a half-eaten fish on the side, there is no text on the page of that book that is laying open on the table.
Can I grab a book in the bookshelf right next to it and open it, and see if it's the same?
Sure. You grab a book off the shelf and kind of flip through a few pages. There's no writing on the books at all. Pages.
So, could this be a place where they store where they write rather than study, record their own notes?
I mean, sure. I don't really subscribe to reading the way everyone else does, but it's still strange to see so many books. And I grab another book and open it to see if it also still just is empty. It's like so many books are just left here.
Same thing.
With nothing on them.
I would ask for Razir, who I'm assuming came into the room with everybody else, to make a perception check, and this will be with advantage.
He's
I know
not
you already
cursed
have
anymore,
you would
guys.
have advantage, but in this particular instance, just roll with advantage.
Advantage, double advantage.
22. All of the books on all of the shelves, at least the ones that you can perceive, there's some that are obfuscated by the tendrils that are in your way, but it's just obvious. There is a very, very small enchantment on all of the books in this room.
Brazier, all the books here are empty.
Yeah, and they're also magic. All of them.
I mean, sure.
No, I mean,
what does
all
that
of them.
mean?
Stories do take you to magical places.
No, there's
These have
magic
no
as
stories
that
in them, though.
new glaive got. Well, maybe not as much, but every single one of these books has got magic to it, which ain't normal. And if all of them are looking empty, I ain't so sure they are. If they're magic, there's something going on here. I'm just not sure how it works.
So like invisibility on the books.
Or it's something
Why?
like,
I'm going to move Razir slightly while you're having this conversation. So over here, there is a staircase that looks like it leads upwards. And then I'm just showing you based on Razir's vision. And then over here, there's another staircase. This is the one that you blockaded in the mess hall that was above that leads down to this grand library. There is also a set of double doors, which obviously you already noticed when you first walked in here, directly across from the double doors that you walked through, that lead to some kind of seemingly central chamber in the middle of the library.
I'm just gonna put the book down and keep exploring.
I'm gonna go
Are those-
to one of the bookshelves and reach for a book with something in mind. Like I want there to be a book I'm looking for.
Oh,
Something
okay.
about how to, like a cookbook or something.
Brazier's so smart.
Sure. So what do you think of specifically?
The meat skewers from back in River.
Nice. Okay. So you like think for a second, you kind of nod like confidently, take the book out, thinking about the skewers from River, and kind of like open the book. The pages are blank.
We're back. Well.
I like that idea though. That was a smart idea.
It could have been like the Wanderer's book.
Xander. He's not here. I mean, he's here, but he's not here.
But
He,
Can I-
he
are there-
actually passed out from seeing all the books. He got overloaded.
Oh my.
You probably want to go pee.
Uh,
The
Alright,
doors
so
are
it's
locked.
either the books are all enchanted, or like this place is, like the library is enchanted and it is magical. Well, that's something to think about. We got something to do. So you said this staircase goes up as well?
Both of them go up. So one goes up like heading in a
Yeah,
northern
that's where
direction. The other one goes in the southern direction the other way.
Yeah, it
So
must
it's
have
like-
been
so
one of
where's-
the
Where
staircase
does
we
this
blocked.
one go? Oh, turns up.
Did Garrett, you go up? You go up the stairs?
Yeah, if Brazier said it out loud.
Okay. You go up the
He's a
stairs.
doer.
Not
a thinker.
He thinks by doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes forever. These.
Like,
for
will
these
this
maps to
work?
load.
Ooh. It just
Will
keeps
it
slow.
Did it pull you over?
I have to.
It's trying to.
Still
there we go.
loading. Yeah,
There we
there it
There we go.
is.
I don't know where you are on this map. I'm gonna delete all the tokens off this map.
We're down in the
Oh.
left.
Not anymore. You're not.
We were.
Hey,
we
Xander's
were
up there now.
Wait, what? Oh, Xander's there.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. There's a secret staircase here at the.
It's not
in that room we
really
didn't find.
that secret, but I put Garen on the map now. The top of the
Hey.
stairs, you're up in this secondary recreational room that you were in previously, or you didn't really.
Is the
look
fire
through it,
still going? up here?
It is.
Good question.
It is still going, and I had described it as being smoldering last time, and it looks like something like a lamp or something had like fallen over, and additional wood had begun to kind of light on the one of the sides of the room. It doesn't look like it's going to engulf the entire keep, but it is just burning. The room you're in right now is like filled with smoke because one of the doors is open, and the smoke is just billowing out into it.
Yeah, this.
Nobody's
Don't
opened any
come
windows.
up here. It just goes back upstairs. And then I'll go back downstairs.
Okay. And everybody back to the main floor. But now you know where the stairs go.
Yeah. Whew. The fire's still going up there, by the way.
Well, I'm sure Blackstar will be happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
This would be a moment for Black Star. Black Star. Yeah.
What do you believe is behind these doors?
Door number 1.
Then we gotta find out.
Yeah, is it locked? Because I was trying to open it before Rajir said, "What's upstairs?"
Oh no. Okay, good. I thought I dragged them into the next room.
Is that actually a hat there, Tim?
There is actually a hat, which looks very similar to the one you're wearing.
I'm gonna take it just to have a backup.
Okay. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. Most people wouldn't notice, to be honest. Okay. So yeah, you can mark into your inventory secondary hat if need be. These doors look like extra reinforced, and there's like gold and silver inlay and like scrawled leaves, and look at the picture of an open book on the front of each of the doors, and like coming out of the books are like the faces looking towards each other as though they're having a conversation, and based on that you would assume that this is an area of importance, and the locks are probably more locked. They're
more locked.
They're locked.
You should have just read with it.
Heavier, dutier lockerers. Anyways, only because Blackstar's not here, I'm assuming he would move up to the front of the group to check this out.
Yep.
I'm sure Xander would have more to say about and investigate the fact that there's no words in any of these books, but he's not here.
No
so.
words.
If he didn't use the eyepiece, he'd use it for this to identify this magic library.
Okay.
At least he would try and find like he would have me look for if there's any like part of the room that's magic, like maybe that's the core of what's going on here, or something, and if you can't find that, try and look for like one book that maybe looks special, and then try to identify that one or something.
Wasn't there
Sure.
a spy that was here? Maybe they know about this library.
Oh,
Oh,
Laura.
yeah.
Which we
Laura.
could also go find her and give her her sending.
She's
stuff
already
back.
been freed.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah,
sending
but
stuff.
giving. The
Oh
sending
right,
stuff.
she was free to move about the cabin, so who knows where she went.
Yeah, she might not. She might have left.
Or
If she
just
came-
returned to her studies.
Right.
Do you go and try and find her?
Not Garen.
Give a after our rest, if she doesn't show up while we're taking an hour to rest in that room, once we get in the hallway, do a quick yell out into the building.
Sure.
Leora!
So you do find
Make a
her
projection check.
during your rejection check. During your 1 hour short rest, you do hear some commotion, and she seems to have set herself up in the meeting hall, which she seems to like have an air of I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm really happy to be like sitting in this chamber right now. Like I've never been in this room. And then looks like you see her as you walk in. You see her like looking at the paintings that have been desecrated by Blackstar and just kind of like cringing a little bit as she has her notebook and she like begins to open it and take her ink and quill and start to make a few notes based on the paintings that were left because Blackstar didn't actually take all the. There was like 2 or 3 paintings left in that room. She kind of like writes things down a bit and looks up and I don't know. Are you all going in there? Yeah.
No.
No,
Garen's
Garen said
on the
no?
door.
Okay.
Garen's on the door, so.
Oh. You found me again.
Yeah. We think we may have found your sanding stone, but can't be sure it is that one. But it's the only one we found.
Oh. Well, I'll take a look. Just hand it over and she takes it from you. Right. This is indeed the one that I was using to communicate with Garrett. I have to think about what I'm going to send him. How can I tell?
Yeah.
You built different.
Turn it over. It's got my initials on the back of it.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Return to when found.
Exactly.
Turn to LN.
If found, return to. Right. I have to think quite a bit about what I'm going to say to Garrett. Is there anything in my communication I should include for information you've discovered throughout this location? I'm just going to tell him that the base has been conquered and it's safe. This may actually make a good location. You said that... did you tell her that the Chainless took River? I think you told her.
I believe we did.
Maybe I think you did.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, it's a bit out of the way, but it's taken over. It's a bit hidden. Lots of good resources.
The thing is, we found some notes mentioning that there might be teleportation circles here.
Oh,
So its remoteness might not be an issue.
I've never seen one.
I mean, we
You
still
also
got.
said you can see wherever it is they're doing their other testing, so I'm assuming they might be in the same spot.
It's possible. I've also never been in the commander's quarters or in whatever basement they may be hiding things in. Have you discovered the location of that yet?
Working on that. Caught our breath after that fight, and we're going to be looking around now.
All right.
But
Could be-
yeah, I think other than just that, other than what you're going to tell them, if passing on the message from us that the base is mostly taken at least, and yeah, we can update them tomorrow ourselves. Anything extra than the base taken, teleportation circle.
I'll notify him that there may be a teleportation circle here, but it's not been located yet. That you and what do I refer to you as? The group?
We didn't really have a name last time.
Ah, now I wish Garen was
him,
there.
and we didn't tell. I don't think we told him since we kind of came up.
Well,
with
it's
our
all
name.
about like consolidating words. So it's like if I could refer to you as like something like birds and bees, or like trees and fowl, or like trail and arrow, something like that.
Just say like the Gat Boys.
The bow. That's amazing. Are we rebranding right now? Is that what's happening?
I'm
I
thinking
said
trial
the
and arrow.
boys.
The boys.
Yeah.
Well, you had
As in-
established that your group was going to be called Trial and Arrow.
Yeah, we're going with Trial and Arrow. The Boys is the name of the superhero TV show.
I know.
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
though?
No, we're not rebranding. Not rebranding.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know. We told him in our message that we found you, so he'll know we're in contact.
All right.
That was just a couple hours ago.
Time flies.
Not even that. Wait, no, we took a short rest.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours ago. Yeah.
Right. And now at this point, like through whatever windows there are in the keep, the sun has come up over the trees now and is shining in through the windows and giving this really comfy atmosphere to a once battlefield that you were all on, as it kind of reflects off of the various items that are on the inside of the keep. And just like this was once a beautiful observatory slash laboratory. Laboratory. That's
L
great.
words.
L words. Having a hard time with that tonight.
I like
Tim's
library.
mortal enemy.
I like laboratory. Yeah.
It's not a bad word.
Anyways, it's a comforting, nice sight to see. The first sunrise of the word that escapes me. the eradication of the chainless and liberation, another L word.
There we go.
Anyways, she kind of nods to you and goes back to her writing, so you're able to go back to what you were doing.
Yep. Which now
so-
at this point is the doors.
So back at these double doors.
Do we ask her about the library?
Oh yeah, we would have asked that one last thing.
Okay.
You know,
What
you know,
specifically?
you know one thing about this library over here? And how
Oh.
it's working?
Oh, I was given access to study in it, but I wasn't allowed to be. I don't understand how it is that the scholars and wizards that reside here were able to study in their books. I did often see them carrying piles of books into the central chamber, which is often kept locked. Once inside, they were in there for quite some time and then would come back out and store the books back on the shelves. Didn't make any sense to me because they were all blank. I'm assuming there's something having to do with that central chamber that alleviates the problem of not being able to see what's on the pages.
Well, I guess we'll take a look. Thank you.
All right. Okay. You return to the Grand Library and to the doorway. The doors are closed. I'm sure Blackstar would step up at this point and do his thing on the door.
Do his thing.
Do his thing.
Please and thank you, Black Star.
Open sesame.
It seems a little.
Traps?
It seems a little less cinematic because he's not here to say it himself, but it is what it is. 26.
Nice.
He just rolled it. Wow.
Wow.
17s.
Wow. That's incredible. I was going to say these doors appear not to be trapped, but that they do seem very intricate, and the lock would be very, very difficult to pick, right? But with a 30, without issue, Blackstar is able to kind of get to work, and it does take him a full 30 to 40 seconds to actually get in there and do what he's trying to do with a resounding sound. The doors are unlocked and the doors are able to be opened. Inside, there is a singular rectangular table with chairs around it and other bookshelves and books on the inside. 2 unlit, what seem to be arcane lanterns, similar to the ones that are around the Grand Library, although the other ones are currently lit and powered again by the cables coming down from the roof. These books are all blank, and one thing that you notice that's different in this room as opposed to the rest of the library is that most of the books in the Grand Library have a similar coloration to the binding or the book covering, leather covering itself, that was like a tan. Some of them were like a light gray, but they were all in the same similar earthy colored family, so to speak, right? They kind of all blend together. In this room, directly across from the door and not even 5 feet from the table, there are 5. Wait.
There.
I always say things and then I regret being wrong. Come on. 7. I didn't even do it on purpose. That's so funny. I didn't even do it on purpose. There are 7 blue-bound books that are all next to each other, and they stand out like a sore thumb against the sea of tans and light browns and grays, a little bit darker grays that are all along this wall where Chris's cursor is currently hovering right there in that area. But there is no binding on them. Or no wording on the binding, rather.
Description.
Yep.
Can I grab a book and open it?
One of the blue ones?
Yeah.
Sure. So you reach out and you grab onto one of the blue ones and you kind of go to pull it out, and it like your hand, because you're not like trying to rip it out of the bookshelf, it releases. You're like oh, I didn't grab it, and it like comes out and then clicks back into place. And you hear a clicking sound as it goes back into place on the bookshelf. Very resounding clunk. On the table itself, there are a number of writing instruments. There is a bunch of bread, like a cheese board that's been set out, that's been left for like a day or more. A bunch of cartography tools and a large map of the ancient world of Novus, which is not labeled as Novus. It is labeled as an area. It is an ancient world map, not too dissimilar from the ancient world map that you have. No, I don't have something to transition you to, because we would then spend another like 15, 20 minutes looking at this. But it is what you can only assume is either another artist's rendition of what the ancient world looked like before the cataclysms, before the apocalypses, rather. But it is splayed out there. There are also 2 other pieces of maps that do look like they're a little more recent than the age of this ancient map that lays on the table. And they look like they can be placed like in different spots on the map to kind of like change the configuration. Like they look like they fit in multiple spots on the map to like, I know this is getting very convoluted. It's like hypothetical or theoretical places where the continent could have shifted to create different, like the tectonic plates could have shifted to create different continents on the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're putting down.
Sure. The one thing that stands out to you is that overlaid over the top of this ancient map is a jigsaw puzzle. Mm-hmm. And it is an exact replica of the map that it is laying on. And it is entirely completed, with the exception of 2 pieces.
2 pieces.
Well, Garen's at the books, so.
Hey, Ed, I'll be right back. Actually, here before I go and walk off, I noticed on one of the soldiers back there, the chainless. I think it was one of the captains or something. He had a little necklace on him, and there was a little piece in there, and looks like it's going to fit right in there. Y'all see another one on somebody else?
Yeah. I took it as a keepsake for the.
Oh, you didn't just have
orc.
that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
was going to say,
guy,
if you just had a jigsaw piece, it probably wouldn't fit. But if you've had it here, then that makes more sense. I'll be right back. I'll go grab that.
Just before that, speaking of that guy, where's his armor? Because I'm pretty sure we could sell that for a lot.
That's a good question.
I think one of the outcasts took it.
Of course. It was
Grabbing up everything they can.
Yeah. And B2 does a thumbs up too. Karen.
Is that the first time that B2 has lied?
Yes.
I would like B2 to make a deception check, please.
Oh boy.
Absolutely. With advantage.
It is with advantage, technically.
All right.
That's
a good thing you had advantage.
Yes.
yeah.
Louise, you can make a insight check.
Insight.
I mean, I wouldn't have a reason to really be too lied, because so far, I don't know he's ever lied.
It's
Wait,
true.
no, it's not his first deception check.
Yeah, because of the smelling.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
believe
that's
he's
true.
able to smell.
That's right, but you rolled an insight check for that.
Yeah.
You did.
Yes, I'll roll one again, yeah. Come on,
Well,
roll
we'll see
low,
what happens,
roll low.
maybe.
No, natural 20?
For a 25. Mm-hmm. That's up to you how to play that.
Are you sure, B2?
I am confident.
We thumbs up again.
Yeah, and I thumbs up to
You know what?
Just not even slyly, just like straight turns to Garen.
That might tell you something. But
Yeah, you know what? Just, it's more of a pain to deal with that than the
And
than the
then
gain we get from selling the armor.
I'm gonna walk up to Blackstar and quietly be like, "I lied again."
he would say something like, "You're doing well. You're doing very good."
Thank you.
I would have done this. I would have tried this. But you know, you're doing the best you can do.
Yep. Exactly.
Here's my one critique.
Yep.
Uh,
Say something.
Can I
about...
remove the puzzle piece, by the way? Or is it just
Sure. There's a clasp,
connect-
and then the locket opens up, and the puzzle piece is loose on the inside. You can take it
Okay.
out. Yep.
So I can keep the locket.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go grab the other one. Bring
Okay.
it back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Figure out
I'll
where it
give it-
goes on the puzzle.
I'll give it to Razir since he was the one that brought it up. And I'm more focused on the books that won't come off the wall. The not the wall. The words are escaping me now.
Shelf?
Shelf.
As
Bookcase.
I'm-
Bookshelf.
As walking back with this puzzle piece, is there anything on like the back of it, either side of it? Any writing or anything?
No. No.
Okay.
It is just a puzzle piece that seems to fit into this puzzle, which makes sense.
I'll leave it on the table for Razir and go back to the books.
Jigsaw puzzle time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you have to assemble an entire jigsaw
I
puzzle.
mean,
it's
it's
just
two
pieces.
whole pieces. It's
Uh-huh.
gonna take.
That's
us
gonna
a while.
take a while.
Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
Zender's is gone to pee, so like our smart guy's gone. So
Yeah,
He's gone
we
to
might need another
pee.
short rest while we
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, put the pieces in.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you put them in one at a time, like the captains first and then the commanders, or do you put them both? You like take them and place them in at the same time?
Whichever one I find, like, okay, that one goes there, and then that one goes there.
Okay, so within a span of like a second, basically. So
Yeah.
you place them back in. Okay.
So that would be.
That was a very serious face from Tim.
Sometimes I got to
hmm.
think about things. So
How do I want to mess with my
how many
players?
how many D8s
Yeah.
do I roll?
okay. Is everybody? Yeah. Just thinking.
Where are the books, by the
Yeah.
way? Like here? Where?
Louise
Yeah,
is
just-
always
yeah.
not where it needs to
Top
be.
side.
Okay.
Yep.
As you, so the first piece that you put into place, there's like just putting the piece in. There's a resounding clunk in the room, like the entire room like shifts visibly, like shakes a little bit of dust comes down from the ceiling. Both the doors close. As you do so, one of the light orbs in the room brightens and turns a vibrant red on the side, kind of illuminating the room from one side. And like a second later, you place the other one in, and that turns a vibrant blue, creating over the top of this table and on the puzzle this purple light that's just kind of like emanating throughout the space. It's not just light, it's almost like there's a smoke and a mist kind of like hovering in the air around you. The first thing that Louise notices is you turn towards all of the books. All of the labels are there on the books themselves. And the blue labels, the 7 of them, spell out the letters JREIUTP.
You have to say that again.
yeah, just let me.
Eric already knows the answer.
All right, what was it?
I saw him sigh. It is JREIUTP.
Yes, exactly. It's a French word.
But does
Jupiter.
but my question is, but does
Jupiter.
but it's
Garen,
okay.
you got this one?
He's just been pulling them like what's
Just
going on?
randomly? Just randomly? Okay,
Yeah.
so click, click,
He's
click,
been doing
click.
that for a minute.
Okay. Well, nothing's happening.
Right. He's not trying to assume a puzzle is. He's just like confused
Yeah,
why they won't come off.
I ain't the most avid reader, but boys, that looks like the same kind of letters as the man who used to own this place, right? Is his name? Are all letters there for that?
What do you?
Yeah, Jupiter
about?
Keep Downs.
Yeah, Jupiter.
Yeah,
letters
it's
there for
Jupiter,
Jupiter?
yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah.
All right. Well,
By the way, what's Jupiter mean?
that's.
Um,
Name?
What does that?
What's
What does it
Reserve
have
mean?
to do with
Like-
anything?
I mean, it's the guy's name.
I
The guy who
think
used
if
to own
you
this
And
place.
your name
Well,
is
it-
all the
Louise. What's...
so the letters are little signs that make certain noise when you read them, Karen.
about
So-
60
Right,
seconds
yeah. Oh, Garen,
goes by.
Garen, stop pulling them all.
As
Hold
about
on.
60
Stop
seconds
pulling
goes by, as you're standing there having this absolutely ridiculous conversation because you're
What do you
joking
mean
about the fact that it's really
ridiculous?
super ridiculously easy and it was intended to be so. But the lights turn off and the doors themselves unlock and open back to their original position. The puzzle pieces kind of settle off to the side, and it is now once again dark on the inside of this room. And with the lights gone, all of the writing on the bindings is also gone.
Rizir, that's what happens when you just bring a random trivia about what you see in the room. We waste time.
I go
I
ahead.
think we're fine. We know what we're doing now. Let's just do it again.
Garen still doesn't know, but
We're spelling out someone's name with them books there. They're not coming out. You keep pulling them. They're not coming out because they're a lever system lock or some kind. We got to pull them in the right order.
got it. Gotcha.
Puzzle pieces back in.
So who's manning this?
I'll
Go
try
ahead.
it.
We'll
Garen.
let Garen do it. We'll just be
Spell-
like that one, that one, that one, that one, that one.
Garen, spell Jupiter.
I mean,
I will roll
Like
a
you
check.
might not read, but do you at least know your letters?
I'm gonna roll an intelligence
If you don't, we can tell you which ones to pull.
to see if I could do this. Otherwise, yeah. But I get advantage at least. Okay.
that's so funny.
Double
Oh, double 11s.
Which means it's
I mean, that's
better than
above
average.
average.
It's
That's
average.
It's
yeah.
so-
He knows
Slightly
his
above
letters.
average.
He
I know
knows
my
his
letters,
at least.
So I'm gonna sound
So-
it out.
There's no O's. I don't see J-O-O. Where's the...
There's no O.
Jupiter.
Okay. Perfect. That's easy.
That one, that one, that one, that one.
Yeah, and then they'll probably rush me because they're running out of time, and I'll get the rest of it.
Okay, so Jupiter. As you click all of them, there's a click, 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 and as the last one clicks into place, there's a to the what did I say?
You just
Forgot
said
the E.
TR.
Did I just say TR? I didn't say TER. Okay,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's an L word. No, I'm just.
He spelled his
It's
name.
a
curvy.
It's a backwards curvy L. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a French L.
French L.
You know. Not far out.
So as you do so, the table in the center of the room. You notice, and Louise probably was the first to notice, but everybody kind of sees this, that it is not actually a wooden table. If there had been more of an investigation underneath the table, it is kind of an illusory painting on the side of a large stone rectangular piece that makes it look like it's a table, and it begins to like slide to the side a bit, and one of the chairs gets like one of its legs caught underneath it and begins to crumble. Like a chair was supposed to be moved out of the way before this giant stone slab was moved, and the chair just kind of gets like crumbled underneath it. It gets pushed to the side. Kind of moves to the side. The light's still on, and going past the time that it would have shut off previously, the lights remain on and illuminate a staircase that descend downwards. No, the map does not move. Nice. My immersion. I know.
Did you just turn on a flashlight on your revolver?
Cock the gun. So
I've got a Glock now.
looking down these stairs,
I mean, with the amounts of Eldritch Blast you had, we might as well.
they are completely darkened, and the room below is also completely darkened. But with your dark vision, you can see that they descend. There's stone stairs that descend down they're about 5 feet wide, and the room below has a stone surface to the floor of it, but you can't see beyond that.
To B2, we're just staring into abyss.
did Xander not short rest?
He did, yeah. Well, he
Tim just
would
grabbed
have.
a roll
Okay.
for him. You did Black Star.
Yeah, I didn't do
Xander.
I
Or
did.
You don't
I
do
did
that
not do
now.
Xander.
And then D6 wizard hit die.
All right, let's go.
He has a +3 at least.
Yeah, I remember when Wizard was D4.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Here, we'll take care
Wow.
of this right now. Hold on, ready?
Is there anything with the D4 still?
No.
Nope.
Oh, that's good. That's kind of mean.
Yeah.
Too small.
Wizard was in 2.0. Wizard was broken if you could get it to survive.
Yeah, but didn't they all have like every class have like their own XP rate? Like wizard leveled up slower than like fighters.
Yeah. Yep. There was individual XP 2.0, and then there was like your armor class, and then what class is swinging on you changes
Backup.
with. Yep.
God.
Good old
I had
backup.
that was my DM sheet for a long time. Was that?
I'm happy to be in 5e era.
I was molded by it.
So
You merely adopted the die. I was
Uh-huh.
molded.
over the next 30 IRL minutes, I don't think there's going to be a need for him to have his hit die. So he'll take care of that before the next time we play, which is the live session, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily ready to
Are we-
call it right this second.
Are we saving raid the basement for in person?
Yeah.
I would want to go until something happens where it looks like, all right, we're gonna have to interact.
Get
with more
down,
stuff.
down into the basement so we have a general idea of what we're looking at, and then decide if we want to call it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless Tim wants to just keep going.
No,
'cause he loves D&D.
I absolutely want to keep going. You have no idea the amount of time that I've spent in this last week and a half because I'll just leave it right there and not say
As
anything else.
Gary, I'll man the front. You guys just stay behind me, or B2 actually come with me because you can't see anything.
Okay.
Hit him where it hurts.
Actually, I'm gonna.
Wait, you have a torch?
I'll
no,
turn to
before-
Felix and be like,
Yeah,
Can
I'll
you please
cast
not be like
light on
Louise.
this blade.
"Can you make my?" Thank you.
By the way, during the short rest, I'm assuming you attuned to the
new glaive.
new glaive, right?
Yeah, but I had a question about how it works mechanically, but I wasn't gonna waste game time with it. I was gonna message Tim separately.
Right.
So
Oh. Okay. So we'll handle that
Yeah.
after then.
Yeah.
I don't intend
It's
on
not like
taking
you
us
and I-
into and continuing with a combat this session, so
I don't think
Yes.
it's too late
Well,
for
it's
that.
not like you
anyways.
and I don't talk on the regular throughout the week anyway.
True, very true. Very true. So, as you begin to single file make your way down this stone staircase into this stone floored room, the first thing that you see is that in this approximately 35 by 25 stone room, which has the same or similar make to the keep itself, there's a bench in three corners, a stone bench in three corners of the room. Let me just go ahead and... Sorry, 1 second. Boop. And boop. The smell of must and old leather greets your nose. It is noticeably colder down here, and you see what looks like vibrant flowers growing out of the walls in odd locations, the stems of which seems shadowy. Even as you're descending the staircase, there are these just every so often, every couple of feet, there's these weird flowers kind of growing out of the walls. They don't look like they're reaching out towards you. They're just there. There's like some veiny vines kind of growing up the sides of the stone walls that are here. In this room, there's a fountain in the middle with some mild trickling water coming out of the center of it. I did bring you to the map. I think you can see it now. Yep. But there are bat sconces that adorn parts of the walls that jut outwards towards the center. And there are 4 double doors that seem to lead to other rooms or hallways. You have south, west, north, and east. And
Is this still the same north-south orientation as the room, as the rest of the keep was displayed for us?
Yes.
Okay, so we went down that way. Okay, cool.
Yep. This is directly above, so you came down and then, continues the
North
same
of
way.
us, there's going to be... Actually, we're at underground at this point. There's no restriction.
You have no
inside
frame
the
of
building.
reference of...
Yeah.
You do know...
Well, we can see how big the map that you've made is. We can see the black square on the black background, on the gray background of Foundry, so we know it's at least in there. That's
Maybe.
all we've got.
It's at least.
Maybe I made it way too big. You don't know.
Right.
At
least what is it?
The only thing that sets this
295.
room
300.
apart from like the stonework and the very well intricately made, like everything down here feels older. It looks like it's the same age as the rest of the keep, but the rest of the keep has been being lived in. This is like only very occasionally visited, and it has that old musty feeling like this has been here for a long time. But there is a singular thing that is more modern or current, and that is a bowl of half-eaten food that sits on one of the southeastern bench that's down over here. It is just like there with a spoon in it, and there's just a little bit of steam coming up from it, as though somebody recently left it behind.
Is it like dusty or moldy or whatever enough in here that is there like a layer of dirt on the floor or anything? Could we be able to tell foot travel paths? There we go. Foot travel path, feet, path, foot.
Make an investigation or survival check.
Do we still feel enlightened down here? Or empowered?
You do feel enlightened. Yes.
I don't know what I missed. My
Almost
headphones
more
died and I
so.
switched them.
How?
I didn't even...
Terrible.
More so.
14.
You said
I mean,
more so.
that's-
Okay.
even more so. Almost as though you're drawing closer to the source of enlightenment. Mm-hmm. Looking
Triple
down
advantage.
at the ground.
Ooh.
I know it's not on the
Elven
map,
advantage.
but the elven advantage. There is a good amount of just like a very thin layer of not mucus. That's a really weird word to use in this instance, but just like not even
Film.
slime.
Films.
A film of something, and it has almost like a spore feel to it, like a pollen that is settled, and so it's not just dust, but these flowers continue to grow, and not like at an active rate where you're watching them grow right next to you, but they are just growing in the space, and have been for quite some time. Some type of mixture of Feywild and Shadowfell influence on the space, and it's growing more and more prevalent as you're now getting down into the basement. There's a little bit of that in the keep itself, but you're progressing to a point where it's very visible now.
All right, guys, where to?
Is in this room with 4 options.
So with the 14, is there any?
Oh, sure. Sorry. Yeah, there's enough on the ground to know that the footprints that left the bowl on this bench headed south.
Does it look like the other 3 directions are used? Like, is there evidence of like pest walking where there's a little less filmy in spots?
Yes.
Okay,
so
we'll come and go from these doors. It's not just that one's being used.
Primarily, it's the southern door. And by the way, the map, even the keep map, is technically upside down. So everything that we've been saying north is actually south, but it's just easier to use the map. It's technically south. But anyways, yeah. So primarily south, a little bit north, and then hardly at all west and east, as far as traversal to those doors.
Yeah,
a little bit, but not much.
Do you want to check these doors for traps?
That would be best.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Before we continue, Tim, do you have an idea of where we should stop this evening to leave it up for in person next week?
I'm just going to say this. This basement is the most prepared that I have felt in a very, very, very long time. So we can stop anywhere, and it doesn't matter to me. If you want to stop right now in this room, and you can make a decision as a group as to where you want to go.
There, like, so there's not any like thing you want us to get to, and an idea of where you.
I have a
want
place
us to
that
be.
we have to stop before the group is together. It's very unlikely that you will get there tonight. Unless you make very, very specific choices that are very unlikely that you will make those specific choices. And now Eric wants to make those choices, but Eric doesn't know what those choices are.
No, I would prefer to leave the whole cool new basement dungeon for everybody to be together and be in person for.
Mm-hmm. And it is an entire basement dungeon. So.
Yeah. I'm fine with stopping for the sake of
maybe we
next week.
Maybe we pick a door, see what's in there, and then stop.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
Why not?
So
you want to pick north, east, or west?
Let's roll a die.
Looks like those two sides, they don't really go down too much. So if anything they're doing, it's either this over here, these closed doors, or them other side. What was that? That direction, opposite side of the room from us. If they're more often going that way, that might be where we want to take a look.
You want to check here first, then, since this seems to be where everyone is going.
No, it's
the other way around.
South is where south on the map.
Well, do we want to just go where everybody's been going, or do we want to kind of look around a little bit?
I think it is best to cover our tracks and make sure nothing comes from behind. So looking around just to get an idea is probably the best choice.
Yeah.
All right, so these ones right here next to the stairs, then open them up, see what's there, make sure nothing's going to come up behind us when we do go the way everybody else is going.
Yeah.
I like the way you think.
And we open the doors, and
are they locked? First of all,
are they trapped?
All of them are locked.
Ooh, the eerie music kicks in.
Trapped question is the next question.
Trapped.
Make an investigation. So, which door are you approaching first?
Northern.
Not
bad.
18.
Doesn't somebody have guidance? Felix, you have
I
guidance.
do, yeah, just solar
Use
speed.
guidance more.
I guide you to do better.
Okay.
Which is
So, Razir, Garen, and Xander, based on your passive insight and just seeing this initial room and what you've experienced thus far in the keep, what I will say, and we'll get back to this in just a second, there's something about the basement that feels different than the rest of the keep. Something you can't quite put your finger on it. It's almost like there's a presence here. Like something that's been trying to claw its way to the surface above the crust of the earth and just hasn't been able to penetrate it. Now that you're underground, you're in its lair. There isn't anything that you've heard necessarily or seen that would lead you to believe that, but there's this overwhelming just feeling, like a fog just hanging over everyone as you took those last couple of steps down and put your feet on the stone floor in this room, of just this ominous, like, this just doesn't feel good being down in this room. And it's as Blackstar begins to investigate this door, even with an 18, realizing this is going to be a lot harder going forward, as he feels fairly confident, but a little bit uneasy in his decision that there is no trap on this door.
Goosebumps,
I don't
Tim.
like this place.
What'd you say, Chris?
Goosebumps, man. Beautiful job just setting.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, right. Hey, plants. Are you Vesper? Is that you, or is this someone else you're talking to?
As you say that,
Let's see if the
and
plants.
your voice, I don't know if ever, who's crap, what's the name of the movie? Oh, Pagemaster. Have you guys seen Pagemaster? No? That's like an old Pixar movie or Disney movie, whatever it was back in the day.
Oh wait.
Christopher Lloyd.
Oh yeah, where he becomes a cartoon. It's a kid, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
And he has to
okay.
face horror and fantasy and one of the other ones.
He goes through all the different books. Yeah.
Yes, he
That
does.
is a memory. Oh my goodness!
I guess that's how
It's a
we look at
great
it.
movie. It's a great
It's
movie.
such a good one.
Pagemaster?
I don't remember it.
It's so good. You should rewatch it.
It's got a Culkin, right? It's got one of the Culkins.
Oh,
Yes, it
yeah.
does. Macaulay Culkin. Yep.
Macaulay.
Okay. So
Wow.
So, as you say it, your voice echoes, but it doesn't reverberate off the walls, and everyone hears the echo, because nobody said anything necessarily as you came into this room. But your voice echoes, but it has this hollow, kind of like carries slightly, and then like folds back in on itself as though there's some kind of oppression that carries it back to you. And Razir doesn't get scared, because I think Razir is immune to fear, right? Or you're resistant. You're immune to fear, so you're not afraid. But it's like what? The
Actually,
heck?
I think I'm only immune while
When
I'm in my
you're-
form of dread.
yeah.
Whatever.
Actually, not much.
It doesn't. That is just.
Point B.
Anyway, yeah.
Everyone hears including Garen, B2. Everybody hears the echo come back, and it's almost like it gets sucked back into Razir, and there's this like really ominous quiet that sits over everything. And then, as he speaks out into the room, there's a kind of like sifts through the room, a bit of whispering. I don't know how well that came through on my microphone, but not at all.
I heard
Not very
bits and
good.
pieces.
And we know what, when we're in person next session, you're going to hear lots of cool things you never heard
Actual
before.
sound effects.
Right, that I'm doing. But yeah, there's a bit of like whispering that just barely makes its way through the chamber. That comes through.
Oh, this place is not sitting right with me.
It is dark.
Yeah, something.
There's a feeling of undead. Just a feeling. Like I'm just no
I
roll
look
or
around.
special sense needed. It just feels like death down in this basement.
I look around with the intention of seeing if Verilos anywhere. I don't see him.
He's
You there?
hasn't purpose, or do you call out to him?
After a minute of like, this place is weird. This is his vibe.
Sure.
Hey, Verilos, are you there?
He
Just
kind
my
of like
usual, you there?
appears like sitting on the fountain, like edge of the fountain. He's got like a toothpick in his hand. He's a corpse, and he's just kind of like picking his teeth a little bit. One of the tooth falls out and ting 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 onto the ground. Whatever. Looks up at you. Everybody sees him.
Yeah.
Oh, I take.
That's because of God Shard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in. Yeah.
Oh, what a glorious location you found yourselves in. Welcome to the basement of Anaria's Watch, I guess. I've never been here before. It's one of the places I avoided. Anyways, there's a lot of really cool things down here. We'll have to take the time to fully see what there is to gain.
Right. That's all well and good and within intention. Any pointers you want to offer that you got on hand of a direction we might need to go, or you said you ain't been down here before?
Well, I can feel things, I can sense things, but I can't see any further than you can see. So take that with a grain of salt. I kind of make things up a bit as I go, but really the truth of the matter is that there is no safe path. Each path leads to something bad, but they're all very exciting.
Right. Okay.
It's... Do you want the least dangerous path or the most dangerous path? I don't know exactly which way you should go to find exactly what you're looking for, if that's what you're asking, but I can give you a little bit of a hint. Depends on what you're looking for.
I mean, take whatever you can give us. Looking for... I mean, you know why we're here, what we're looking for, what we're trying to get to. So, general idea of which way that might be, but kind of already figured that out with the walking patterns.
Well, without a shadow of a doubt, and like a bit of like black smoke, just kind of... He seems more exuberant than normal, more alive, and the fact that everyone can see him is obviously adding to the fact that he's able to have way more of a presence here than he normally does. But there's like black smoke kind of drifting off from his shoulders, and some of the wounds on the corpse begin to heal just a little bit, just ever so slightly, faintly. L words, right? Without a shadow of a doubt, the northern direction is probably the more dangerous of all of them. But not to say that everywhere else won't also lead you to your doom. West, by far the safest.
All right.
But it doesn't necessarily lead you where you're wanting to go.
Right. Well, that's something. Thanks, I guess, for that.
All right. I'll be watching.
That's going to help. Yeah, you always are.
Always.
So, Black Star feels fairly confident that the door is not trapped. Even with an 18.
All right, well, with that little bit of information, do we want to change our plan? The dangerous room, or look in it at least, or
I mean, I feel like we might as well start with the hardest one, even though our resources are kind of depleted before they're even more depleted.
take a look at least?
Yeah, at least do that.
All right.
Might I ask, as the DM,
No, you may not.
Moving on.
how is everybody doing on resources?
As a fighter, I'm doing great.
I'm-
Short rests are fine.
As a warlock, I'm at 100%.
I'm missing
Ooh, Xander's really tapped.
person
Okay.
six. Yeah, but Xander will also be able to recover some spell slots with the short rest we did. But yeah, he's really. Where is it? It should be here.
You can do a bit of arcane recovery.
Yeah, where's? I think it's.
Ooh, yeah, he is
He's
quite
really
yeah.
tapped. He's quite tapped. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got
Definitely.
2 4th levels, 1 1st level.
Two
That's
or
it.
less than half. So he's basically able to restore a total of 4 spell level. So either like 4 first level spells or 1 4th level or any combination.
Okay.
Oh my god, yeah, he's really. Yes, 2
Do-
4th level spell slots, and that's.
Do
oh,
we
a
want
first
to
level
go
as well.
do a long rest before we tackle this basement? Is there something that's
That's
pressing?
something we could do.
I mean, we have the keep. We can go. We can go rest, unless there's something pressing that we need to get to.
Not that we have been informed.
Zender told us about his vision about like Buttercup,
Having to-
like,
Having to
but
rush in.
there wasn't anything in that vision that like was
No
like
context.
yeah. So we don't know
Yeah. All we know
when
is
or
we
if
were
it's
beat
urgent
up
or
and
where
rushing in.
is it. Does it happen when we get there?
Yeah.
I think it would be best, knowing what potentially waits us. We
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
come strong.
Plus,
Yeah.
even
That
It-
the warning we just got, plus the way this place is feeling, I think we might
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah.
in tip-top shape before we tackle it.
We can at
Is
least.
that- yeah.
There's safety upstairs.
yeah, and we have
security.
the
Also-
outcasts who can help
Yeah,
us.
we'll- And we'll be around in case something does come up with the returning chainless. We can be
Yeah.
up there to deal with it, so that we're not, again, like B2 said, not leaving our backs open. We don't want to come down here and then while we are, too many chainless show up, the outcasts get overrun, and the chainless come right down and come behind us. So stay up there, give it a few hours. We take our rest, recuperate, make sure that there ain't enough chainless to overrun the place as they're coming back in their patrol groups. Be there in case we need to react. Hope not. Yeah.
I like this
Alright,
plan.
so
Agreed.
let's go back. Then again, before we long rest, we might want to put out the fire
Yeah, I think
on the second floor.
Get a couple buckets and have that not continue.
Yeah.
You have the
Probably should have
one-
done that at some point.
The
Anyways.
one member of the chainless that got locked in their own room by Blackstar, who like scared
Oh my
them.
God.
It's the one guy
Oh,
who's up on
yeah.
the second floor.
That's
Um,
right. Blackstar needs to go deal with it.
So that's the plan.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go long rests. Take a early morning nap.
Okay. There's more than enough content available for our live session. Like
I'm sure there'll be
way
some
more than
great
enough.
RP.
Yeah. So when we pick back up next time, we will be taking care of the fire, which isn't really that big of a deal. Maybe Blackstar will go and take care of the one guard that's up on the second floor. You'll take your long rest and then begin the actual basement dungeon delve that is the basement of Anaria's Watch. So
Let's
that's where
go!
we'll leave it off. That's where we'll leave it off for tonight, and we'll look forward to our live session.